It's the back end of a doubleheader between McKendree Bearcats and the Kansas Jayhawks in a cold and rainy Saturday afternoon here in Overland Park, Kansas. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Rock. Alongside Daniel Schmidt, I'm Ryan Cartman, bringing you the second of two games between McKendree from out of Lebanon, Illinois, and, of course, your Kansas Jayhawks. Jayhawks taking the series opening win last night, 8 o'clock puck drop. That was a 6-2 final score. Two of those Jayhawk goals coming courtesy of Matthew Lang. It was the Lang game for the Jayhawks. Let's welcome Daniel Schmidt onto the broadcast. Daniel, what did you like last night seeing from the Jayhawks?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to talk about Matthew Laner there. I mean, Laner having a good start to the year. I mean, last year as a sophomore, last year was his first year, kind of getting his feet wet a little bit, kind of dipping in. But this year he's taking a bigger role on this Jayhawks team on the third line. It's been good to see him. And then, of course, I mean, Aiden Siddons with the power play goal, Brett Siddons with just a regular goal. I mean, that duo on the top line, that's pretty good right there, and you like to see what they're doing.
Yeah, as you said, Daniel, a power play goal courtesy from Aiden Siddons. It was the third goal of the night for the Jayhawks coming in the second period. It was 4 unanswered goals that the Jayhawks had to start off the game. Jayhawks 1 for 3 on the power play last night, something Andy McConnell really emphasized in practice this week, as the Jayhawks power play was struggling just 2 weekends ago against Creighton. As we mentioned on last night's broadcast, 1 for 10 last weekend against Creighton. So, Daniel, good start for the Jayhawks on the power play.
Yeah, no, they've had the power play going here early, and I mean, it's kind of surprising that we've made it this long in the broadcast without mentioning their top scorer, Rowan Vaughn. I mean, this year, the freshman from Minnetonka, he's been really good, up to 11 goals on the year, 12 points. I mean, he's been there when the Jayhawks need him. He's putting it in the back of the net, and he's a big reason why they're moving the way they are right now, Ryan.
Yeah, Rowan Vaughn, 11 goals, 2 assists on the year, 13 points for the young man, the freshman out of Minnetonka, Minnesota. And talking with Andy McConnell before this weekend series, talking about the impact that the freshmen have had on the team, really just praising how well they've adjusted to the club culture and the energy that they brought. And you see it from Rowan with the speed he has and just the versatility. He is a smart hockey player, as Andy said. He just sees things that a lot of freshmen wouldn't see. But, Daniel, I want to move on to Kai Vetter as well. Kai with a great game last night, stopped 39 of the 41 shots on goal that he faced, letting 2 in. What do you like so much about Kai Vetter, Daniel?
Man, Kai Vetter, the sophomore out of Edwardsville, Illinois, I mean, since coming in last year, he's really, really been good. I mean, when you have him and you have Ben Olsen and you get a switch between them, you're in for a pretty good weekend. And, I mean, the fact that, when Ben's not playing like he's not playing this weekend, you get Kai in there, and Kai can come out and go 39 of 41 on the saves for you, take you to a 6-2 dub. I mean, he's instrumental to the team and somebody who's going to be a big part of this team for the next couple of years.
Yeah, Ben Olsen out this weekend with an illness against this McKendree series. Jayhawks hope to have him back next weekend against Nebraska. So it is Kai Vetter getting his first back-to-back of the year, only his third start of the year. First one came all the way back in September against a Drake team in which the Jayhawks swept that series. It was that Saturday game he played. Jayhawks won that game 9-2. Kai Vetter giving up 2 goals in each of his first 2 outings so far the 2025-2026 campaign. Well, we look at the offensive lines for the Jayhawks. The starters tonight, or I should say this afternoon for KU. It was a night game yesterday. It is Aiden Siddons on the left wing, Brett Siddons at center, John Feeney on the right wing. Nothing changing for Andy McConnell.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a little bit already. That Siddons connection on the top line, that's instrumental, but you can't not talk about the senior John Feeney. John Feeney just been a big part of this team and, hasn't really seen it go his way that much this year. I mean, he's got 3 points on the year, but still, I mean, he's instrumental to getting those 2 going on the top line.
Yeah, Feeney had 3 points entering the weekend. Actually added 2 more, courtesy of 2 assists last night. So it gives him 2 goals and 3 assists on the year, excuse me. So first line for the Jayhawks stays the same. Third line stays the same as well. Braxton Landis, Matthew Lang, and George Bullard on that third line. Second line shifts just a little bit for head coach Andy McConnell. Rowan Vaughn and Hudson Huber still in that line. Danny Callaghan, though, enters taking out who was it on that line last night? I forgot who was on that line. But as we move on to the fourth line, though, whole new fourth line for the Jayhawks. Austin Katz, Blake Bowerly, Jack Canick. Canick, the freshman out of Centennial, Colorado. Katz, the freshman out of Chicago, Illinois. And, of course, Blake Bowerly played last year as a sophomore out of Maple Grove, Minnesota, talking with Andy McConnell before the game. He loves his depth that his forward lines bring him, and he wants to try to mix and match, see what works well, what doesn't work. Daniel, what do you think about that little mix and match game he's trying to play right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the point of the season where you want to see what some guys who maybe don't get the playing time or aren't on certain lines working with certain dudes, what they can bring for you. And, I mean, this game's perfect for that. You're playing a team that's 1-8-1. And, you know, this is a feel-it-out game. See how they can do, you know, with a little bit different. I mean, they've got 5 freshman forwards in those 4 lines. So it's just it's good to see that they're getting some reps out there and trying to see what works and what doesn't.
And pardon me, it was Harry Ives, the second-line right winger for the Jayhawks last night. Of course, it's Callaghan replacing him, the freshman out of Illinois. That is Danny Callaghan. We look at this defense for the Jayhawks. Top 2 line pairings stay the same. It is Malcolm Johnson and Luke Dinesta, though. That line pairing getting to start this afternoon. Zach Roberts and Blake Kern bumped down to the number 2 spot.
Yeah, I mean, Malcolm and Luke right there, 2 Minnesota boys, 2 seniors. I mean, they've played together for a little bit now, so it's good to see them get the start on the first D line, and both of them really good players.
Yeah, and for the Jayhawks, it is Jimmy Cannon once again getting to start on defense. Or not to start on defense, excuse me, on the third line of defense. Travis Breyer, not his partner today. It will be Zach Zidakis, a junior out of Joliet, Illinois. And, of course, again, Kai Vetter, the sophomore out of Edwardsville, Illinois, getting to start for the Jayhawks. He's been working with goalie coach Kyle Heitman this whole offseason, beginning of this season. I know they are liking what they're seeing out of Kai. As we get ready for the national anthem here, we'll start to take a look at McKendree's lineup before we get into the national anthem. Head coach for the Bearcats is Christian Blandina. Assistant is Noah Scrum. Starting goalie for McKendree, yet again, it's going to be Dominic Height. Had a fairly good showing last night. A few bumps and bruises along the way, of course, giving up 6 goals. Some of those, though, might have been on defense. But either way, had some flashes for sure. Yeah,
I mean, KU was really just putting the pressure on them, so it's just, you know, good to see that, you know, head coach Christian Blandina, put him back in. That shows that he has some faith in him.
We will take a pause for the playing of our national anthem. So as the goalie stays the same for Christian Blandina's McKendree Bearcats, all 5 position skaters, though, do change. It is the line of Lakowski at left wing, Leven Burden at center, and Ryan Eckliff at right wing getting the start for Blandina's Bearcats. And they were the line making the most happen last night, Daniel. They ended up getting the goals. It was Tuklowski with the goal and Burden and Eckliff on the assist.
Yeah, Burden, freshman out of Munich, Germany. They got a couple international players here on McKendree, so those are some players to keep a look at. Also, draw a connection here. KU starting 5 freshmen on the forwards. McKendree's got a lot of freshmen too, so it's a lot of young talent out here on the ice tonight.
Yeah, as we talked about last night, McKendree does have a Division I team as well. It's their Division III team. So very much a developmental team for the Bearcats that is still showing some experience as they're trying to meld together, this being their 11th game of the season. And the starting defense for McKendree, it is going to be Blake Miller, the big junior out of Edwardsville, Illinois, as well as Rudolph Jurgensens, the freshman defenseman out of Latvia.
Yeah, there's another one of those international kids as we get ready for the face-off here, Ryan.
So we are ready to drop the puck for game 2 of this back-to-back between the Bearcats and the Jayhawks right here in Overland Park. Bearcats win the opening draw as they dump it in to the Jayhawks zone. Puck drop today, 4:33 p.m. in Overland Park. Save in front of net of Vetter. Rebound opportunity for the Bearcats. Goes wide as it's the Jayhawks' first chance to strike. Aiden Siddons wraps it around the boards. Playing it at the half boards now is the Bearcats. They dump it back to the half boards. That is Feeney with it. Wrister shot, or excuse me, slap shot there by Siddons. Goes wide right of the net. Playing back with it now. This is Miller with the puck on his stick. Near boards now. Nice shove down there by Nessa at the high slot now. This is Siddons dangling. Loses it. And the Bearcats now have control. Puck tipped. Icing and we waved off here. Puck in front of another Kai Vetter. He leaves it for Luke Nessa. Nessa with it. Finds Brett Siddons. Some line changes happening for the Jayhawks. They try to get that second line fully on. They now do. Aiden Siddons tips it, and he'll be the last one to come off. Second line out now. Second line out now for KU. Playing it along the near boards there. That is Arth for the Bearcats. He has it now on the left wing side. Arth will dump it in behind the net of Kai Vetter. It goes as the Bearcats have control. They lose that control, though, and it's Callaghan with it now. Danny Callaghan passes it up, tries to pass it up to Rowan Vaughn, the freshman for the Jayhawks. As we have our first stoppage of the night, it's an offsides against KU.
Yeah, KU given the taking the pressure there right to them early, not able to get that Aiden Siddons slap shot in there. They had a good opportunity there in the first couple seconds, but Jayhawks looking to make something happen here. McKendree's holding the D though.
Neutral zone face-off here goes the Bearcats' way. So far this afternoon, face-offs going the way of McKendree, something we couldn't say too much last night as the Jayhawks won a lot of those face-offs. This is Callaghan with it. Right-handed shot, kicks aside by Height. Blake Kern goes to retreat now. Tries that, get control of it. He barely gets it off in time to Rowan Vaughn. This is McKendree at the point right now. That is Nuglowski with it. He has a shot on, saved there by Kai as he smothers that one up.
Yeah.
18:04 to go in this first period.
Had a little bit of a collision there between Callaghan and Rowan Vaughn. I think there's a little miscommunication on the ice as Vaughn looked a little shooken up there, but still came off under his own power.
Face-off to left of Kai Vetter. Jayhawks come away with the puck as it's the third line out now. This is Braxton Landis dumping it in. Jayhawks now working on the forecheck. Along the boards, this puck will travel. Landis behind the net with it. Dumps it for Lang. Lang, the man with 2 goals last night, he loses it off his stick though, as here come the Bearcats. Icing waved off. Puck now batted around the boards by Leven Burden into the near corner now. Puck enters the low slot for a second, but able to come away with it is Zach Sudeikis as the Jayhawks now travel into the offensive zone. Sudeikis with the puck on his stick. First time we've seen Sudeikis at all this weekend. It was Travis Breyer on that third defensive line pairing with Jimmy Cannon. Here is Demakis with it. Demakis loses an edge there, goes tumbling down as the Jayhawks look to enter.
Good D by Malcolm Johnson there, getting the puck away.
Near corner now, this puck sits. Bearcats trying to exit. Fumble there by Blake Miller as they have to reset. Not getting a puck off the stick in time was Alex Avalos, so it's the Jayhawks now with an opportunity at the points. Luke Nesta, the first D-line pairing out. Hits our ref, I think, back there. That puck stays in the near corner boards. Nesta with it again. This is Johnson at the point as he dumps it behind the net. Trying to get to it there is the Jayhawks. It's the fourth line out for KU. Again, a brand new fourth line. We didn't see any of these guys play last night, none of them dressed. Puck fought for there along the far faceoff dot, and the Jayhawks come away with it for the meantime. Blake Bowerly playing it in the near corner for the Hawks. Able to get it on out of there, though, is McKendree. Jack Hannig with it. Shot on. Nice glove save there by Dominic Height. Showing off the glove hand right now.
Yeah, that fourth line trying to get something working there, led by Blake Bowerly and then Katz and Hancock there, the 2 freshmen, but not able to get anything going as the KU first line's out. I've been really impressed with the KUD so far. They haven't let anything happen over on the other end. Kai Vetter's been able to chill out so far.
Face off to the left of Height, won by the Hawks. First line for the Jayhawks. Right now, Brett Siddons, puck goes off his stick to Luke Ness at the point. Jayhawks cycling it around the boards right now. Andy McConnell loved how the Jayhawks were cycling it last night. Talked to him before the game, said the Jayhawks looked faster and that they were better along the boards. They just have to execute a little bit better on the doorstep. Near boards right now, shot on there, deflected aside. Sean O'Connor with the shot from the point.
Really long shift here for KU's number 1 D pairing as Johnson and Ness have been on the ice here for a couple minutes.
Pucking neutral zone now. This is Brett Siddons trying to come away with it. He does. The lefty looking for a gap. He's going to try to go wrap around here. Can't get it off the post. Off Height's left post as he hugs that post right now. Puck battled for possession behind the net of Dominic Height. Nearboards now losing control of it. This is John Feeney with it now. Feeney had a centering opportunity there for Aiden Siddons, but they couldn't connect as this puck's going to be iced by the Bearcats.
Really good defense by the Bearcats there. Feeney thought he had something, but McKendree just gets sticks in the way, ends up knocking it off of his stick before he can even make a shot, and they're good to go right there.
15:07 as we've opened this game at Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk. Welcome along to our broadcast alongside Daniel Schmidt. I am Ryan Cartman bringing you KU Hockey on the KU Hockey YouTube channel. Puck at the point now. Not able to keep it in there, though, is Zach Roberts as the Jayhawks will have to re-enter. Offsides waved off here. This is Vaughn with it. Tic-tac-toe goes the Jayhawks, though. Nice save by Dominic Height, falling out. Shot there by Blake Kern. No good. Shot goes wide again as Dominic Height goes sprawling out. And we're going to have a little ruckus in front of the net as the Jayhawk and the Bearcat collide. That Jayhawk looked to be Danny Callaghan who collided with the Bearcat.
Yeah, a little, I think Height came out of his crease a little there trying to stop the play and ended up just colliding with a KU player. You know, always gets everybody going. You heard the McKendree bench get a little vocal there when that happened. But we still got hockey to play.
Face off to the left side of Height, won by Hudson Huber, played to the point to Hearn. Hearn to Roberts. Roberts around the boards looking for Vaughn. Vaughn still with possession, centering pass looking for Callaghan. They can't hit as McKendree looks to clear. They do along the right wing boards. That is a Bearcat with it. Can't see which one that is, unfortunately, but it's the Jayhawks now with it as they look to exit the zone. Huber now carrying it down. Huber shut on, patted aside by Height. This is Huber with it again. Huber's shot kicked aside by Height up in the air and gloved down there by a Bearcat. That was Levin Burden. Nice glove down there, but he ices the puck behind the net of Vetter. It's the second icing of the game so far. Both of them going against the Bearcats.
Yeah, really good opportunity there for Hudson Huber. Not able to put it in the net, though. Jayhawks need to take advantage of those opportunities. They need to get out to a good lead here so they can be comfortable with it being the second game.
Face-off to the right of Height, won yet again by KU. Half boards now, centering. Spinorama shot there for Matthew Lang, doesn't connect. Late hit there by Lang. McKendree wanted the penalty, they won't get it. Instead, they will get another icing.
3 icings here in the first, 6 minutes and 20 seconds. McKendree just shooting it up, trying to get anything going on their offensive end, trying to get some pressure off of Height, but Height's just seen the puck every time right now. I mean, McKendree can't seem to get KU off their back.
And Tuklowski was trying to get off the ice, but he couldn't. He has to stay back out. Had a look of disgrace for the linesman who called him back on. Winning that face-off is the Bearcats. Blake Miller shoots it down the length. This one, though, I don't think will be enough for icing. No, winning the race to that was Demakis. Behind the net of Vetter, the puck is pursued for. keeping it in there. Nice job by Miller. Miller, though, couldn't get any mustard on that as it goes in the near corner. Centering pass now to make his front of net. Tangled up, though, with Zach Roberts. Puck in neutral ice. Nice hit there put on by Matthew Lang against the defenseman for the Bearcats, Alex Avalos. It's Braxton Landis with the puck now.
Been a physical game so far, and it's kicked up since that goalie incident with McKendree.
Atticus Arth carrying the puck for the Bearcats. He loses possession of it as how this puck gets batted around in neutral ice. Bearcats trying to come away with it. They can't. It is Braxton Landis shooting that down to length. They dump it in as Jayhawks go for a full line change. Near corner now. That is Hannock. Hannock getting pressured there by Niewoglowski. Trying to find Niewoglowski there was the Bearcats, but tipped by Bowerly, the fourth line centerman. Hannock trying to come away with it. He does. Backhands it up in the air. McKendree finally trying to exit. They do. They are 3-on-2 if they hurry. Instead, they decide to go for a mini line change. Near corner now as the Jayhawk and the Bearcat get tangled up. And we're going to get our first penalty of the afternoon out of this. It is going to be a hooking going against KU.
Yeah, looks like they got Luke Nessa there on the hooking. Nessa lost his stick there with the hook. So it's going to be our first penalty of the game as the assistant captain, Luke Nessa, is going to go take the box. Doesn't look too happy about it. McKendree's going to go on the power play.
Yeah, you could argue it is a little ticky-tack of a call, but either way, Luke Nessa wasn't paying too much attention, looked like, to where his stick was. Ended up getting called for the hook, and it's a Jayhawks penalty kill on the ice. As we get our first chance of the afternoon to see the Bearcats power play. Bearcats power play was 0 for last night. Jayhawks penalty kill doing well.
Wait for them to get the time up on the scoreboard here for the penalty.
Problems again with our scoreboard for these penalties. Right now it shows Luke Nessa with the penalty of 0 minutes, 0 seconds. And frankly, if that was the case, well, then he'll be out of the box. So we'll take that as Jayhawk fans, but of course, got to put 2 minutes up there somehow.
Yeah, I'm sure the KU bench doesn't have a problem with it, as here comes one of our officials come talk to both benches.
They just put a new penalty up there for Nessa, so we're good to go now. The 2-minute minor penalty against Luke Nessa for hooking up on the board as we're ready to drop the puck. Face off to the right of Vetter, won by McKendree. Far corner now as they cycle it around the boards. DeMakis with it at the point. That is Miller. Miller tried to get a shot off, couldn't. Gets tangled up with the Jayhawk as he puts it into the near corner. Jayhawks trying to ring it around the boards, cleared out. They can't. Nice job by the Bearcats. It's DeMakis. DeMakis patiently waits. Cross-ice pass now. Left wing shot. Saved by Vetter. Rebound opportunity. Nobody home to knock it back for the Bearcats as they reset. Blake Miller off the skates of Brett Siddons. Jayhawks with an opportunity to get control of it, but nobody home for them. Puck dumped for Miller. Shot, though, goes up and above the crossbar of Kai Vetter. Puck cleared down by the Jayhawks. Minute left to go on the minor to Nessa.
Yeah, McKendree just hasn't been able to get it going here. It's a very sloppy power play.
Eckliff with it now along the right wing side. Rings it across the boards, looking for Arth. He can't get it, though, as this puck goes right back behind the net. As a Jayhawk penalty kill. Look at them go. I think this is one of their best penalty kills we've seen so far of the weekend.
Yeah, one of their best penalty kills, but also this is a abysmal performance on the power play here from McKendree. They just can't seem to get anything going.
Durrett right there for the Bearcats. He tried to enter, but got pushed off his stick by Matthew Lang. It's a second penalty kill unit out for KU. 22 seconds on the minor to Nessa as he's ready to exit the box. Shot on there above the crossbar of Kai Vetter. Shot brought to you by Thomas Durrett. Had a heater on that one. Far corner now. 8 seconds to go on the power play. At the point, that is Avalos with the puck off his skate. He takes it down to the face-off dot.
That was really good by Blake Hearn.
Here comes Ness out of the box out. Headman pass for Luke, the defenseman. He has fresh legs. Luke tries to dump it for George Bullard, but too far past him. So the Jayhawks are going to have to reset in their own zone. Jayhawks get everybody on ice they want, as this will be no icing against the Jayhawks. It was tipped on the way in. Arthwitz along the far boards. He tries for a head man, but the Jayhawks will scoop that one up and say thank you very kindly. Far corner, that is Rowan Vaughn with it. Vaughn loses control as the Bearcats come away. Tired skaters right now for the Bearcats. They're looking to make a line change, you think, sometime soon. Rowan Vaughn with it now. 3-on-2 for the Jayhawks. Vaughn with reinforcements. Rebound opportunity. How did that one miss the net? Danny Callaghan wide open net to look at, and he misses it just wide, and he knows that he had a goal opportunity right there.
Oh, my goodness. Rowan Vaughn put it off the pads of height. And Danny Callaghan was right there and just sailed it wide. He's going to be beating himself up about that one for a while. That was a prime opportunity for the Jayhawks right there.
Second line still for KU. We'll see how Danny Callaghan bounces back from that one. Of course, the young man, the freshman, got to be able to bounce back from those missed opportunities. As McKendree wins the face-off to the right of Height, but they turn it over immediately. This is Vaughn. Vaughn skates in, tries to tuck it in 5-hole on Height. Height, though, closes the door on that opportunity. Puck stays in the zone as McKendree, no, they're able to get it out. As here comes the Bearcats. Shot on there, sticked aside by Vetter. Jayhawks able to clear into neutral ice. McKendree's going to have to touch up. This is Callaghan with it now. Danny Callaghan, look at him bully his way through. Backhand shot, though, goes wide of the net. Look at Danny Callaghan right there.
He is fired up.
Laying on the Bearcats. Callaghan, another opportunity. 5-hole denied by Height as that puck now goes to the near boards. Zaxadakis with it at the point. Down to Huber. Huber! Deflection opportunity there for Callaghan. Goes up and above the crossbar. Bearcats are trying to clear any way they can. They finally do, as this puck's going to go down the length of the ice. Icing waved off, though, not far enough. Backhanded right there into the far corner by the Bearcats as they finally get a much-needed line change. Third line out, fourth line out for the Jayhawks now. Blake Bowerly with it, skates through a couple of Bearcats as he resets and sends it along the far boards. Trying to find Harry Ives. Puck battled for along the far boards now as we're about to reach the 7.5-minute mark here in the first period. A tight showdown right now between McKendree Bearcats and KU Jayhawks. We're all knotted up 0 goals apiece. 8 shots on goal for KU, 5 for the Bearcats. And what right now seems like a way better mechanically sound team we've seen the Bearcats play so far.
Yeah, they've put some hustle into this game. Their effort's been astounding so far.
That one's tipped there by the Bearcats. They're along the far boards. Battling for it against Jimmy Cannon. The Bearcats come away with it. Nice job keeping that puck away from the Jayhawks there. As that one comes out, we're under 7 minutes to go. Alongside Daniel Schmidt, I'm Ryan Cartman, bringing you the back end of a doubleheader between these two teams. Again, and KU took the first game last night, 6-2. Their first goal came halfway through the first period last night. They're looking for a goal in the first period right about now with 6.5 minutes to go. Shot on there by Zadakis, goes wide into the backboards. Far boards now, that is Yachthuber with it as he sends a headman pass up to Ryan Neckliff. Battling for it now, that is Demakis at the dot now. Shot deflected in front of the net of Vetter, and it goes to the near boards. Jayhawk and Bearcat go tumbling down there as giving him a little bit of business there is Jimmy Cannon, ref breaking it up. No penalties going to be assessed right now. Brett Siddons enters cleanly. Siddons, though, poke checked off the puck by Blake Miller. Nice job there by the junior defenseman out of Illinois.
Yeah, the Jayhawks were going for a line change, so it was Brett Siddons against all 5 skaters for McKendree.
Jurgensen's with it. Centering pass for Brett. Rebound opportunity as Dominic Height finally covers up as little something brewing right there's Aiden Siddons and a Bearcat, and our ref is not happy with it. He is going to be assessing penalties here. Siddons is going at it with Ryan Eckliff, And our ref is going to get Ryan Eckliff for the penalty. It's going to be a minor for a roughing. It'll be the Jayhawks' first power play opportunity of the afternoon.
Yeah, it was pretty vocal by our referee there. He was pretty adamant that he gets to the box pretty quick. He was not going to be putting up with any of that, making sure to keep the conduct good on the ice this afternoon.
Jayhawks 1 for 3 on the power play last night. Their power play goal coming from Aiden Siddons in that first power play unit. And speaking of that first power play unit, they are out to start. This is Brett Siddons with it, the captain for the Jayhawks. Siddons at the point, leaves it for Nessa. Nessa shot off the skate of Bearcat, and they dump this one out. Here comes Durrett on a breakaway. Durrett, backhand, he scores! The Bearcats strike first against the Jayhawks, and it is a 1-0 Bearcat lead.
Yeah, KU just got, I think, too comfortable there, and Durrett's able to take a loose puck down and score shorthanded. What a goal for McKendree as they take the 1-0 lead against the Jayhawks.
Thomas Durrett doing it shorthanded. The Jayhawks lose control of the puck, and Durrett's wheels beat the wheels of the Jayhawks defense as it is a 1-0 Bearcat lead. Puck behind the net of Kai Vetter. Jayhawks look to reset here on the power play. Still 93 seconds to go to the minor roughing against Ryan Eckliff. Rowan Vaughn with it, the second power play unit out for the Jayhawks. At the point is Ives. Ives back to Vaughn. Vaughn now to the far boards. Goes to pass at the point now. This is Huber. Huber back to Vaughn. Vaughn to Huber at the point. Huber circles back. Nice screen in front of the net. Dominic Height trying to do all he can to see. Huber will go behind the net of Height. Along the boards to Vaughn at the point. Vaughn to Huber. Huber shot saved by Height. Rebound opportunity in front of the net of Height goes behind his net. Zach Roberts couldn't keep it in, as right now, Daniel, it has not been a good Jayhawk power play.
No, the power play is not humming like it should be right now. I mean, McKendree's just coming at them with some physicality, and KU's not responded too well to it. So we'll see how they try and fix it here in the last 30 seconds.
Almost came another opportunity for Thomas Durrett. He almost had another breakaway, but the Jayhawks still able to keep it down. It's going to be a high sticking here call against the Bearcats. So the Bearcats are going to wait to touch it up to try to waste as much time as possible in the KU power play. It's going to be 13 seconds left on the man advantage for KU.
Yeah, Jayhawks need to try and get something going here in the last 13 seconds as we work through some technical difficulties with our score bug. 3:53 to go here in period number 1. 1-0 McKendree leads.
Face-off to left of Height. 13 seconds to go on the power play opportunity for KU. As our linesman's barking orders, puck is up. John Feeney wins the face-off for the Jayhawks, the right winger. Puck kept in by Luke Nessa, barely able to keep it in against the likes of Thomas Durrett. Again, the lone goal scorer so far tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. Near point, this is Siddons. Siddons, cross ice, or centering pass, excuse me. Can't connect, though, with his fellow teammates. As that puck barely squeaks out, Brett Siddons brought it back in, and it'll be an icing against KU. Be 3.5 minutes to go in this first period. Shots on goal, 10 for the Jayhawks, 6 for the Bearcats. We're here in a cloudy Overland Park. About cool 70, 71 degrees outside. It's been cooler than it has been in weeks past. But again, these guys don't care. We play indoors, and we already play in the cold. Puck behind the red line of Height's net. Jayhawks try to get something going here on offense. As that puck goes up and into the netting, we'll have a stoppage here.
Not just up and into the netting, up and over the netting there. As ends up back with some of the KU photographers. So they bring the puck back in here.
So Daniels, we played just almost 17 minutes into this first period of action. What have you seen from the Jayhawks?
I've seen the Jayhawks. I don't think they were ready for the physicality and the speed that McKendree came out with today. I think they've kicked it up a notch from yesterday, and KU just wasn't ready. I think, maybe since they're 1-8-1 that they kind of counted McKendree out and were like, okay, it's just the back end of this doubleheader. Let's not worry too much about it. But McKendree's really been taking it to them here early. I've loved the way they're playing.
Shot on there by the Jayhawks. That was Malcolm Johnson with it gloved there by a height. Christian Blandina, the head coach for the Bearcats, getting an explanation from one of our refs about why that puck's face-off was on the neutral zone. He obviously doesn't get an explanation he likes, as this puck obviously will stay to the left of height. Face-off there, won by Bowerly for a second. Jayhawks come away with it. Hannock with it. Hannock over to Nessa. Nessa at the dot now. Centering pass. Looking for Austin Katz. But that puck goes up and wide of the net. Big hit there put on by the Jayhawks. It's a man down for the Bearcats. It's a temporary 5-on-4 advantage while the Bearcat is down, as this play is whistled down for an injury there along the far boards.
Yeah, Blake Bowerly with the hit there. It was a clean hit, but just seemed to get him in a bad spot as he's still down on the ice, and the KU trainer is going to go out to check on him.
Yeah, couldn't see who that is exactly, but whoever that is, that he has not gotten it. We're going to try to get you that as soon as possible. Daniel, in the meantime, what have you liked from McKendree showing so far this first period?
McKendree, I just mentioned the physicality and the speed that they've come out with. I've been very impressed with that. KU looks surprised with the way that they've come out, but I'm also very impressed with their defense so far. We just saw a really good example of their defense right there, where KU had a really good opportunity with somebody trying to, get behind height there to get a second chance. But McKendree had their defenders right there and were able to get the puck, stick it away, get it out of danger, and ultimately try and get it out of their zone. But, KU's just going to, I think, have to go and try and score here, of course, but go into the locker room, make the adjustments, see what they can do in the second period.
As right now we wait patiently. Still on his knees is that Bearcat player. Again, as soon as we get a number, we will let you know who exactly that is. Scary situation right now here in Overland Park.
Ryan, the Jayhawks started the year on the road, have finally made it home this weekend for their first home series. You have to think Coach Andy McConnell is happy with the way that their long road trip to start the year went. Now they're going to get some home games here.
Yeah, they will get some home games, Daniel. Next weekend they're going to be playing Nebraska, welcoming Nebraska Lincoln into town. As both teams are clearing the ice right now, still not exactly sure what is going on. Or at least the Jayhawks are going to clear the ice. But yeah, obviously last year the big problem for KU was getting off to a slow start, and didn't have enough momentum going into the back half. They had momentum playing and winning some games, but just not enough to take them off the playoffs. Now though, they start the season 5-2-0, something that head coach Andy McConnell likes very much. And coming off the ice, that is our lone goal scorer for the afternoon so far. That is Thomas Durrett, who is down, and he is going to make his way back to the locker room. Thomas Durrett, the freshman forward for these Bearcats, standing at 5'10", 165 pounds, out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, Bowerly had some speed going to that hit. You just hope that he just got the wind knocked out of him there, and it's nothing more serious. Skated off the ice on his own power, which is always good.
And this could have a big impact on the game, too. Durrett has been playing very well so far this afternoon. Of course, had the goal, but been called his name a lot for just putting pressure on the Jayhawks on the forecheck or even in the Bearcats' own defensive zone. Of course, coming out with one breakaway opportunity and catching on it. Almost had a second breakaway opportunity as well. So our refs are giving an explanation to the Bearcat coaches, I think, as to why there was no penalty. I think they wanted one. To me, the hit looked clean. I haven't seen the replay of it. I only saw it live. I didn't get a good glimpse of it. It looked fine, but
live it looked pretty clean to me as well. It looked like just a normal hit.
So we're ready to play again. Under 2:50 to go in this first period. This is Eckcliffe racing for the puck for the Bearcats. It's tipped to the near boards by the Jayhawks as they look to counterattack against this opening punch by the Bearcats. Shot on there, smothered up by Dominic Height.
Yeah, Height's just been humming here early. I mean, his forwards are bringing the energy on the other end, and his defense has been there, and he's shown up as well. I mean, you've got to be happy if you're the McKendree head coach.
Face off to the left of Height, won by the Jayhawks. Brett Siddons trying to get a pass off. He can't. Nice defense by the Bearcats. He dangles now. Brett Siddons at the high slot. Dumps it to the point to Nessa. Nessa loses control. Able to keep it in for the meantime, but it's McKendree on the exit now. McKendree shot on there. Other than that, a Kai veteran. He's forced to cover up. Nice shot by the Bearcats to force the face-off in their offensive zone.
Yeah, McKendree's really flipped the script here. I mean, for the first 5 minutes, it was all Kansas, and then I guess you could say for the last 13 minutes, it's been all McKendree. They're leading 1-0. Only 7 shots on goal against KU's 12, but they've got the advantage in the score.
Face-off spread out of Vetter, won by KU. This puck is in neutral ice, sitting, waiting for somebody to make a play on it as the Jayhawks will get control. That's Huber. Huber off to Callaghan along the far boards in neutral ice. Jayhawks entered the zone cleanly. Vaughn from the left wing side. Vaughn shot, kicked aside by Height. Around the boards, the puck goes. Roberts can't keep it in. Ugly looking there for Zach Roberts, not being able to keep that in. He holds his head high for a second, wondering how that didn't stay in. Dangerous puck in front of the net there of Kai Vetter. Jayhawks able to get it out. Delayed offsides against the Bearcats. They have to re-enter the zone. Blake Kern, far corner. Head man for Callaghan. Callaghan, though, can't glove it down, so the Bearcats get control. Near boards, this puck goes for Yachtuber. Yachtuber off his stick as the Jayhawks now with possession. Yes, there they go. It's been a tough game for the Jayhawks keeping the puck on their stick, but here comes Blake Hearn. Hearn leaves it for Vaughn. High slot now. This is Cannon with the shot to the side of the net. Centering ice opportunity. Hearn with the shot. Deflected in front of the net. Jayhawks poking away. Bearcats poking away. And it's the Bearcats that come away with it under a minute to go in the first period. As it was a late offsides for a second on the Jayhawks as they touched up.
Thought the puck might sneak in there, but Height and the McKendree D just showed up and made sure to clear it out before KU even had an opportunity to see where the puck was.
Behind the net now. This puck lays. 30 seconds to go. Battle along the boards. Both teams trying to come away with it. Who will? It is the Jayhawks for the moment. 20 seconds to go now. Shot high slot deflected by Vetter as that puck is in. McKendree with the goal. Ty Vetter got pushed down. Bearcats double their lead. And I think the Jayhawks right now are looking for a goalie interference penalty against Vetter, but I don't think they're going to get it.
Yeah, that looked interesting to me right there. I think that's a 50-50 call. Jayhawks are talking to one of our referees and a linesman right now. I think that's a 50-50 call. There's somebody heading to the box here. I think Aiden Sins is also going to hop on the ice. He got into it with, I think, our goal scorer there as they came around.
Yeah, I didn't see exactly in it, but I just saw the replay of what happened. It does look like that puck, I think, got in the net before Vetter was pushed aside, so I think the puck was already in. I think that is a good call by our officials from the looks of it, from the one camera angle that we do have. So, again, I trust our ref down there that he had a good view of it.
Let's see what the penalty is here.
Bearcats, from out of nowhere, double their lead as they're going to enter the first intermission most likely with a 2-0 lead.
They're going to enter with a 2-0 lead, and KU's going to enter on the power play. 2 minutes on 71
That's
for
Ryan
McKendree.
Eckcliffe going to the box. Don't know what for exactly.
I think it was something that happened when they came around to go congratulate their bench, because I saw Aiden Siddons get pretty animated down there. Head coach Andy McConnell pulled him back.
That's Eckcliffe's second penalty of the afternoon. The Jayhawks will be on the power play to enter the second period, barring they don't score, and I don't think they're going to have enough time with 8 seconds to go in their own defensive zone. Jayhawks trying to clear with 4 seconds. Brett Siddons, puck on the stick. High slot, pass it up, shot on! No good. It's actually a pass intended for Brett, trying to deflect it off his stick, but Brett couldn't get to it in the nick of time as that one goes wide. And it's the Bearcats with a shocking lead over to Jayhawks, 2-0. They have the lead.
Yeah, I mean, very shocking if you're KU. I mean, they thought, I guess McKendree brought that physicality. They brought that speed this period, and KU just didn't match it. KU was nowhere to be seen. I'm interested to see what's going to happen in the KU locker room because I assume there's going to be some harsh words said about needing to come out and show up because KU was non-existent there in the first period.
Yeah, head coach for the Bearcats right now, Christian Blandina, getting an explanation from our refs about why there was a penalty assessed to Edcliff. Why there might not have been one assessed to KU, don't know. But either way, it'll be the Jayhawks starting out the second period with a minute 43 of power play time. And get a great way to get your offense going, Daniel.
Yeah, I mean, the power play to start the period is going to be big, but the Jayhawks, they just need to come out with some speed and some enthusiasm because they were lacking it here in the first period.
Well, it's been a problem for the Jayhawks the past 2 weekend series, winning the opening night game, but dropping the back-end game on a Saturday, barring their 2 losses, which is why they have had 2 losses so far this year. Jayhawks looking to avoid to have that happen again as we enter the first intermission break here from Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk in Overland Park, Kansas. Bearcats enter the first intermission with a 2-0 lead. Keep it right here on the KU Hockey YouTube channel for the start of the second period. Back inside Advent Health Sports Park at Blue Hawk for the start of the second period between the Jayhawks and the Bearcats. Jayhawks will be starting this period with a minute 43 of power play time, courtesy of a 2-minute minor against the likes of Ryan Eckliff and Daniel, as we said, as we welcome inside Daniel Schmidt as well, my color commentator today. Daniel, we mentioned that this is such a big opportunity for the Jayhawks right here to try to get some momentum for the rest of this period.
Yeah, I mean, you start the period on a power play. You're down 2 goals. I'm hesitant to say that they need to score here, but if you're KU, you need to score here. I mean, you're down 2. You're starting the second period. The power play hasn't looked good. KU in general on offense just has not looked good. This is a big power play for them. If they can get started with a goal here, who knows what they can do for the rest of the period.
As we open up the second period, the first line is out for the Jayhawks, or the first power play is out for the Jayhawks, I should say, as they win the draw. Far boards now into the near far corner. Nessa gloves it down, and it's a hand pass there by Luke Nessa. Interesting call there. Don't know how much I like that one, but either way, it's going to be a face-off to the left of the night of Kai Vetter, more importantly.
I'm going to see if our referee catches this. They did not start the clock for about 15 seconds there, so we're behind.
Second time it's happened so far this weekend series. Played an extra 15 seconds or so in the first period. Looks like we might do that again in the second period, but hey, more hockey. I'm not one to complain. Brett Simmons now carries the puck up the left side, trying to clear and start a push on the power play. Simmons on the right side. He dances in. Back to Brett now, the captain. At the dot, shot on. Didn't get there. Got deflected instead. At the point now, going down to the dot is Feeney. Cross ice looking for Brett. Brett trying to keep it in. He did initially keep it in, and then thought he didn't, circled it back out, and it's giving an offsides against the Jayhawks. Ugly so far these first 40 seconds or so.
Something to bring up here too, Ryan. You know, we mentioned the clock didn't start. That basically turns this into a 2-minute power play for the Jayhawks, so they get a full power play out of it here on the neutral ice faceoff.
Face-off and neutral ice won by KU. Far corners now wrapped around by Brett Siddons. As there's a Jayhawk falling over. That was Aiden Siddons. Brett now with it. Works his way down to the dot. Trying to dangle around some defensemen. Tries to center. Cannot. Trying to keep it in there is Luke Nessa, and he cannot. 40 seconds to go on this KU power play that has been kaput so far. Siddons now with it. Working it behind the net of Height. Height up along, or excuse me, the puck up along the Sanchez finds its way to the stick of John Feeney. Feeney works his way to the half boards, across to the ice to Brett Siddons. Siddons dances in, doorstep, backhand, rebound opportunity for Feeney, as that one is gloved on top of by Dom Height.
Yeah, Height's D pairing there was doing really good at making sure to check the back. KU tried to have somebody try and get a little backdoor shot there, but the 2 D-men were right there, not letting anything happen. I've been very impressed by the McKendree defense here.
It looks
in
like
the first 2 periods.
Something might have loosened up there on Dominic Height for a second, so one of his teammates taking a look. I think it might be his blade, just from where the ref and his teammate are looking. No, maybe it's not his blade. Maybe it's just one of the straps on his leg pad. Either way, though, Daniel, about started this period with a minute 47 of power play time. Bearcats have killed a minute 29 of it, and they haven't really had much to kill.
Yeah, I mean, KU's just, it looks like they're doing the same thing they did first period. They haven't come out with any energy whatsoever.
Vaughn with it at the high point. Vaughn down to Roberts. Roberts, wrist shot saved by Height. Dominic Height putting on a clinic so far this afternoon here in Overland Park.
Yeah, Height's been working post to post really well. KU's not been able to do anything here early.
10 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go in power play time. As Ryan Eckliff awaits to exit the box. Roberts with it now. Roberts to Vaughn. Vaughn shot on. I think once again covered up by Height as he had traffic in front of his net.
Yeah, I think Vaughn almost snuck it through the pads of Height there, but Height was able to close it before KU could try and sneak that puck through. Just 3 seconds left on this power play, Ryan.
Face-off left of Height, won by the Bearcats as they send us down the length of the ice. Icing waved off as they were killing the power play. Nope. I thought they called the icing there for a second. I guess they didn't. Jayhawks wanted it. Centering pass opportunity for the Bearcats. Can't convert as here come the Hawks. This is Blake Hearn with it along the right side. The defenseman, the senior out of Orchard Park, New York. Far boards now. This puck as the two Jayhawks collide with each other. And Daniel, that seems like the MO of this game so far.
Yeah, KU's just kind of shooting themselves in the foot here, Ryan.
Shot on, kicked aside by Kai Vetter. Near side now is Blake Hearn. Passes across ice to his defensive pairing in Zach Roberts. Headman there for Callaghan. Puck on Huber's stick. He loses it, and the Bearcats now have it. Bearcats dump it into the zone on the forecheck. Here they come. Blake Hearn able to wrap it around the boards. Kept in nicely, though, by McKendree. Near side now, this puck is battled for as it's a scrum of Bearcats and Jayhawks, and the Jayhawks are the one to win it. Vaughn with it now. Vaughn has two defensemen. He waits for reinforcements. He does not actually. Kick pad save there by Height. Another opportunity for Vaughn now as he waits. Huber tries to go 5-hole with it. See, I beg your pardon, that was Huber with it. He almost went 5-hole with it, but able to get it out of there in time was a Bearcat defenseman. Vetter out of his net to play it. He slings it around the boards. Half wall now, down below the red line. That is Arth. Centering pass now, nobody home. Arth, though, will get it again. Sudeikis now comes up with it, and he tries to fire it down. He can't. Tried to find George Bullard as this puck is being batted around every which direction. Finally, Matthew Lang decides to come up with it. The man who had 2 goals last night. Below the net of Height now. The Bearcats try to clear it out. They are able to now as this puck will get dumped in. Icing called here against McKendree.
Yeah, just some sloppy play here, Ryan, from the Jayhawks. I mean, got to give credit to McKendree. McKendree's shown up today, but the Jayhawks just don't seem to have it going. I mean, there's a bad line change there that almost resulted in something bad for Kansas, and McKendree's taking advantage of the opportunities as they have this 2-goal cushion here early.
20 shots on goal for the Hawks, 9 for the Cats. And it shows you the amount of opportunities, too, that the Jayhawks have had. They just haven't been able to execute on them. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Bearcats as they hurry. Demakis. Shot on, rebound opportunity there for the Bearcats, but nobody home to knock it through. Puck battled for along the far boards. It is the Jayhawks who come away with it, at least for the meantime. Puck still being batted around as the Jayhawks come away. George Bullard sends it down and dumps it in. Trying to play on the forecheck there was Landis. Far corner now. Here is Nessa. Nessa tries to wrap it around to half wall. He can't, but the Jayhawks are able to come up with it. Dumped now. This is Nessa. Johnson at the point. Passing it to, well, nobody. Instead, it was a Bearcat as they were able to clear it down. Luke Nessa with it. Tries to exit the zone. Can't. He has the puck, though, on the stick yet again. Bearcats giving him another opportunity. An ugly turnover there for Nessa in your own defensive zone. The worst type of turnovers to take as Nessa puts a big hit there upon the Bearcat. Bullard exits now. The third line for the Jayhawks is out. He weaves and swerves with Braxton Landis, but offsides against KU. Just over 5 minutes played in this middle act of play.
Yeah, one of the KU skaters got a little too happy there. Took off right before the puck hit the blue line, so we get a neutral zone face-off. Just another tiny mistake for the Jayhawks that kind of shows just how the afternoon and the evening's gone for Kansas.
Face-off in neutral ice, won by KU, and it's Johnson with it. Johnson now, headman up to Hannock. Hannock along the right wing boards. Near corner now, dumps it for Bowerly. Bowerly loses it for a second, regains control. Bowerly is left-handed stick. Back down to Hannock. Hannock now at the half ball. He waits. Dumps it to Nessa. Nessa tries to go back to Bowerly. He can't find him as the Bearcats now try to exit. Bearcats can't clear. Nice job by Jack Hannick, able to keep that puck in. Behind the net of Height now. Height hugging that post tightly. Nessa, shot on, goes wide. Think was deflected in front of the net. Near boards now, the puck is battled for. Hannick again behind the net. Jack Hannick right now making a name on this shift for this fourth line, the first shift for this fourth line of the period. Bearcats finally come away with it. It's delayed offsides for the Jayhawks. Somebody from the bench had to yell to let them know, and they eventually touched up. Puck now in the near corner. Fighting for it, that is DeMakis who comes away with it, at least for a moment's notice. But the Jayhawks able to not get it out of harm's way for a second. Nice job to keep it in there by the Bearcats. Can't keep it in that time, though, as here come the Jayhawks. This is Katz with it. Katz tries to dump it for Bowerly. Can't, as it is the Bearcats coming the other way, and they're 3-on-2 if they hurry. Instead, they wait for a second, and not enough time for them to get enough guys down there, and here come the Jayhawks. Bowerly waits ever so patiently. Or excuse me, that was Aiden Siddons with, or John Feeney with it, excuse me. It's the first line out now for KU. Far boards Feeney. Feeney off the glass to Siddons. Aiden Siddons, the younger brother of the captain, Brett. Behind the goal now this puck is. Bearcats able to tip it out and momentarily, but now it's Aiden Siddons in the far corner. Siddons, far corner behind the net. Blake Miller finally gets it out, up and over the net. Or I shouldn't say over the net, but up and onto the net, as well as another stoppage. 12:40 to go in the second.
Another stoppage for the Jayhawks, but I like the way that they kicked it up a notch there, Ryan. I think they did really good at taking it to McKendree there, and it looked like what we saw in the first couple of minutes from them. But here in the second period, I mean, that's few and far between for the Jayhawks. It's nice to see that they maybe might be back here.
Face off to the left of Height, won by the Bearcats. This puck is dumped out, and icing going to be called here. Just getting to the puck in the nick of time. Or getting the dot in the nick of time was Blake Hearn. Bearcats, though, argues our linesman takes a stumble. Bearcats, though, wondering if that puck was playable enough by Hearn to where icing shouldn't have been called.
I think it was Johnston there with a really, really good back check to get back there. Try and wave off the icing, just couldn't get there in time. Face-off comes back over on the McKendree end.
Face-off comes back into the defensive zone of the Bearcats to the right side of Height. Won by the Jayhawks. Centering pass, looking for Callaghan. They can't connect, hand to KU. As this puck enters neutral ice, Jayhawks gonna have to wait patiently to touch up. Finally touching up, that was Rowan Vaughn. But the Jayhawks, though, turned it over before Vaughn could touch up. Puck to the side of the net of Vetter. Vetter thought about playing it, decides for the better probably not to. As Huber. Huber leaves it for Roberts. Roberts behind the net of Vetter, finds it to Hearn. Hearn, headed man. This is Vaughn with it. Rowan Vaughn, the leading goal scorer for the Jayhawks. Needs something from him right now if you're KU. Hearn. Up the boards. Can't connect. Delayed offsides. Jayhawks touch it. And they are not too happy. Brett Siddons, the captain for KU, voicing his displeasure from the bench with that call.
Yeah, it looked like Vaughn was maybe just over the blue line when the puck hit him. That's why we're going to get this offsides here. Jayhawks not happy with the way this game's going. So they trail by 2.
Face-off won by McKendree as a Bearcat and a Jayhawk collide with each other. Centering pass there attempted, or I should say a cross-ice pass attempted there, trying to find Matthew Lang, but Bearcats intercept, and we're going to have a penalty, a slash being assessed to Hudson Huber. Bearcats yet again go on the power play, as they've already converted once on special teams tonight. It was a shorthanded goal by Thomas Durrett.
Yeah, just when I said I thought that KU might have it going here and they might be back, I mean, you have another mistake like that, just a sloppy slash there, as they're going to put McKendree on the power play and bring back on the PK unit for Kansas.
It was a power play opportunity for the Bearcats. So far, no success on the power play this weekend. They're looking to capitalize here, up 2-0 against KU. Face-off won there by the Bearcats and Niewoglowski. Niewoglowski there on the ground finally is able to get up as it's kept in at the blue line initially by the Bearcats, but Jayhawks able to force it out. That's Burden. Puck glove down there by the Bearcats for a second as they try to enter the offensive zone on this power play opportunity. 30 seconds of it burned. Burden with it. Burden finds someone at the point. Back to Burden. High slot now. Backhand shot there by Lukowski. Doesn't get through.
Good clear.
This is leaving Burden now, skating, trying to skate between two Jayhawks. Cannot. Brett Siddons comes up the puck. He's going to try to kill some time as he sends this one down to length of the ice.
Yeah, Brett Siddons leading by example out there, the captain. Getting the puck cleared, taking it right to McKendree, not letting them get anything going in the offensive end.
Behind the net of Height as here come the Bearcats on the power play opportunity. Shot on there by Adcliffe, just wide of the net. Think he had a lane there for a shot, just couldn't hit. As this puck is yet again cleared by KU as we reach the halfway point of these 3 periods of play.
Yeah, Brett Siddons, look at him. He's going up and down the ice here, leading by example. Andy McConnell said that this team leans on the captains, and Brett Siddons is showing why right here.
Brett Siddons, speak of him, he tries to clear that puck. He can't. Avalos able to keep it in. Avalos, shot deflected in front of the net. Loose puck above the crossbar of Kai Vetter. Aiden Siddons tries to clear. He can. 13 seconds to go on the power play. It is a minor slash to Huber.
Great clear there by Aiden Siddons. McKendree might have one more chance.
3 seconds on the power play. They will not. It is Avalos now skating along the left wing side. Avalos looking to center it to Niewoglowski, but they can't connect as Jayhawks now even strength. Brett Siddons dangles. Siddons shot kicked aside by Dominic Height. Dominic Height, so far a brick wall this afternoon, stopping all 22 shots he has faced. Aiden Siddons along the near boards. Siddons loses control. Jayhawks are able to keep it in. Puck batted around there as it finds its way into the far corner. Both teams vying for possession. It'll be KU coming away with it at the point. Roberts at the point. Shot off the skate of Arth. Patiently waiting is KU. Nice job defending that puck. That is Huber. Huber shot off a stick up and into the netting. We'll have a stoppage at 8.5 minutes to go in the second period. And Daniel, Jayhawks offense right now trying to find any sort of momentum.
The offense just hasn't been there for the Jayhawks, but we talked about it a little bit there. I was really impressed with the way Brett Siddons was out there for all 2 minutes of the penalty kill, going up and down the ice, just, striding up and down, showing hustle and leadership out there. Hopefully that can spark something in this Jayhawks team.
Face off to the left of Height, won by the Bearcats. Puck on the near boards now being fought for. Coming away with it is the Bearcats in neutral ice, and here they come. They are 2-on-1 if they hurry. They can't enough in time, though. Tuklowski, with an opportunity as Ryan Eckliff there gets buried along the boards. Eckliff, though, with the puck momentarily, loses it to Lang. Lang, shot goes up and above the crossbar of Dominic Height as the Bearcats send that puck down the length of the ice. No ice, well, it won't be icing. Vetter stopped it because there was a streaking Bearcat coming down Broadway. Backhand shot there by Tuklowski. Nothing doing there, though, for the Bearcats as the Jayhawks get it out of harm's way into neutral ice. Far boards now, both teams vying for it. Jayhawks send it down, no icing. Glove comes off a player of a Bearcat as he is coming back, holding that right wrist, it looks like, as Dom Height stops that one. Trying to get a look at who that is. That looks to be Rudolph Jurgensen's bent over right now. It is Jurgensen's bent over. The freshman defenseman out of Latvia is feeling the pain right now on that wrist as his glove came off. I think he might have took a stick to it.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. Lost the stick and glove there. We'll see if he stays on the bench or it looks like he's gone back to the locker room for the moment.
Face-off won by the Jayhawks initially to the right of Height. That's the Bearcats now, though. Cross-size pass off the boards. Jayhawks get to it first. Again, they pass off the boards as now this puck wraps around the boards. As it's in the far boards right now.
KU's just not been able to get anything going here, Ryan. I mean, they haven't had a good offensive possession here in a minute.
Save there by Vetter as he covers that one up.
I mean, I can't think of the last time we were talking about the Jayhawks, really humming in the offensive zone. I mean, maybe in the first 5 minutes of that first period, but since then, I mean, they just haven't had anything going for them.
Yeah, I know you're right. Nothing going for the Jayhawks. And been looking along the Bearcat bench here in on the ice. Still no sign of Thomas Durrett at all in the second period. Curious if he might come back to try to play in the third period. So far the difference maker really this game for the Bearcats, other than Dominic Height, of course.
Yeah, we got to look at the replay of that hit. He looked like he got hit pretty high. So you start thinking about head injuries with that.
Shot on there by Hannick. Kicked aside by Height. Another shot there deflected in front of the net of Height. Puck played at the point now by Zadakis. Zadakis off the stick over the crossbar behind the net. As Hannick now with it. Hannick waits, dangles, shot. Stopped by the Bearcats as they look to exit the zone. They turn it over, though, to Jimmy Cannon. Puck laying at the blue line right now, and it is going to be offsides. Good call there by our linesman staying on top of that one. Not able to exit in the nick of time was Niewoglowski.
Yeah, full line changes here for both teams as we get 5 fresh skaters for both on the ice. And KU sending the ones out. They need something here. They need to get something going here before the second intermission, Ryan.
Yeah, not Jack. Jack was my
Jack was last night.
guy last night. Yeah, Daniel, you're right. Yeah, Jayhawks got to find something here. I mean, of course, this is still comebackable if you enter down 2-0, but you'd really like some sort of offensive momentum right here as the Bearcats come away with it right now. Shot on there, glove down by Vetter. Vetter able to cover that puck up. Nice job there. That was a wicked wrister there off of a Bearcat stick.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what you're talking about momentum, Ryan, I mean, in ACHA, especially in Matcha, momentum runs the game. I mean, it runs the game in every sport, but especially in this. If you don't have the momentum, you can't do anything.
Face off to the left of the net of Vetter, won by the Bearcats. Shot there, blocked in front of the net of Vetter. Couldn't even reach that far in. It's John Feeney now in the first line out for the Jayhawks. Feeney wraps around the boards on the forecheck for Aiden Siddons. Siddons pins Bearcat up as now this puck is being fought for along the far boards on the half wall. At the point, that was Nessa able to keep it in. Behind now. Feeney will wrap it around the other way looking for Brett Siddons. Not enough mustard on him, but Brett able to steal it away from a Bearcat. Brett now patiently waits. The captain for these Hawks. First-year captain, Brett Siddons still with the puck on the stick. Nice job by the junior. This is Nessa. Nessa to Siddons at high slot. Shot on there, kicked aside by Height. Another shot there, slap shot by Johnson. Blocked in front of the net by the Bearcats. Behind the net now goes the puck. All 4 showing on the clock. Siddons now. Siddons dangles. Siddons trying to go cross ice. Can't connect with his brother Aiden. Speaking of Aiden, here he is. Aiden at the dot. Aiden trying to find Feeney into high slot. That doesn't work. Puck along the near board, half wall now.
Ryan, here's one of those offensive possessions we said the Jayhawks desperately needed.
Slap shot there by Hearn, doesn't go. Another slap shot there, rebound opportunity for the Hawks. Can't connect. That was Malcolm Johnson, not Blake Hearn with that one. This defensive line pairing has been out a while for the Jayhawks. Puck up in the netting and out of play. Just over 4 minutes to go into second period, Daniel, and feels like we're saying the same things. The Jayhawks have had some chances, but there's just no execution.
I think that's their best chance since the Rowan Vaughn, where he almost had it in the first period, where he almost had the second chance opportunity right there. You had both Siddons brothers right there behind Height, but both of them looking the wrong way, not able to get it to go in the net.
Face off and neutral ice. KU with it. Jayhawks dump it in off of the body of a Bearcat. Couldn't see who that was.
That's Jurgensen's.
Dangerous pass in front of the net of Height. Jayhawks, though, nobody home on the doorstep to bang it through. Puck behind the net now of Dominic. Bearcats exit, no icing here as they try to work on the forecheck. Dixon with it. Dixon, high slot. Dixon again, trying to pound it home. He can't. Hearn able to clear it. Puck just out of reach there of Callaghan as the Bearcats take advantage of it, and here they come. That is Yochtuber. Puck went behind the net of Vetter. Jayhawks able to come up with it. Yochtuber, though, with it yet again on his stick, trying to get a pass off. He can't. Couple of Bearcats and Jayhawks go down to the ice as this is the second line for the Jayhawks. Rowan Vaughn with it. Shot there. What a save by Dominic Height, keeping that shot attempt out, courtesy of the stick of Hudson Huber. Behind the net now goes the puck. Ty Vetter playing post to post here. Puck now in neutral ice. That is Huber trying to get it off the stick of Avalos. He can't. Strong stick there by Avalos. Here's Bullard with it. Bullard, high slot shot. George Bullard connects. The first goal of the afternoon for the Jayhawks goes the way of George Bullard.
It had to break eventually, and George Bullard coming right off the bench and onto the ice. Ends up with the puck right on him. Ends up putting it in the net right by Height. That's what the Jayhawks need right there. They need to at least get it within one here going into the second intermission, Ryan.
As the Jayhawks bench looks ever more lively now as George Bullard connects, cashes it in. That is his second goal of the season. Give him his seventh point of the season, second goal of the season. As the Jayhawks cut this deficit in half with still 2.5 minutes to go in the second period, and you feel like they're going to work out this good mojo right now.
Yeah, George Bullard on the third line, but he plays like a second liner or a first liner. Really good player. Good for the Jayhawks right there.
Sudeikis finds Bullard, tips into neutral ice. Bearcats will ring it around the boards. That's Jimmy Cannon behind the net. Cannon, now Sudeikis. Sudeikis, the forward turn defenseman, now skates it. Looking like an offensive player. Look at Zach Sudeikis go. Splitting between two Bearcat defensemen. Nice shot there on Dominic Height, but he's able to glove that one in. Looking like a baseball player there.
Really impressed by Height here. I mean, he just gets that pad over just in time, ends up taking away from Sudeikis. But what I've noticed here is the Jayhawks have really tightened up the defense. And when you tighten up the defense, that's one way to get the offense going, because if you make it easy on the offense, you keep the puck over there, it's got to break eventually.
Shot on there by the Jayhawks, went wide. This is Bullard again. Bullard shot swallowed up there by Dominic Height. Speaking of George Bullard, of course, just gave the Jayhawks their first goal of the afternoon. That one assisted by Hudson Huber, the freshman from Plymouth, Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, that freshman line, they've been off and on all day, but I have been pretty impressed by them, especially Huber and Rowan Vaughn.
There's a mixture of the second and third lines there, Daniels. This puck now along the near boards. Johnson trying to find Matthew Lang, doesn't work. Still, that puck is staying in the near corner. Johnson goes with the play. Risky play by the young man, but he's able to make it work. Bullard trying to center, can't, off the stick of a Bearcat as they just try to clear this puck any way they can, as it'll not go enough for an icing. Luke Nessa, the assistant captain for the Hawks, regains control for a second as there's a nasty hit put on by Nessa against the likes of Jig Demakis, and Nessa's going to go sit for a couple.
That was just about to compliment Luke Nessa, because we talked about how the Jayhawks need to bring out that effort and that hustle, and Nessa gets down there, makes sure there's no icing, but then takes a penalty as McKendree's going to have a power play for the last 1:15 of the second period and first 45 seconds of the third.
Nessa's second minor of the afternoon. This one going for a tripping against Jake Demakis. We didn't have a great angle of the trip there, unfortunately. We're along the near boards, and we're not high enough to really get a good view of the ice there. So either way, it's going to be the Bearcats going on a power play, and it will bleed in to the third period, barring them scoring in the second. Avalos couldn't keep the puck in there as we reached the 1 minute mark to play in the second period. Avalos near boards. This Jayhawks penalty kill good and aggressive. That's Aiden Siddons with it. Or Aiden Siddons, I guess, pressuring Avalos as he's able to dump it into the Jayhawks zone. Roberts now along the boards as Height comes to play out of his net and leaves it. 40 seconds to go in the second period, 1:25 on the penalty.
Yeah, I don't think you want your power play being in the defensive end as much as it is right now. As Brett Siddons sends it back down. I mean, McKendree has had no opportunities. It's not even been on the Kansas zone all that much.
Aiden Siddons sends it down yet again. 20 seconds to go in the second period. Jayhawks penalty kill this afternoon has looked mighty good. Glove down there by Hearn. Hearn sends it back, and it's 10 seconds to go in the period. And at this point, I think McKendree will just be happy enough going in to the second intermission with a 1-goal lead. 2 seconds to go, and that'll wrap up our second period. McKendree will be on the power play to enter the third. But, Daniel, if you're a McKendree fan right now, you got to be happy with the way this team has shown some fight throughout this whole game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And if you're a Jayhawk fan, I mean, the way that second period ended, you have to have some hope that going into the third period, they'll be able to tie this up and hopefully take the lead. But I was really impressed with the way they played those last 5 minutes there, Kansas. They started, they locked up on D, and then in turn, you end up with the goal right there. Pretty good.
So 45 seconds left on a 2-minute tripping minor against Luke Nessa, the senior out of Waconia, Minnesota. So McKendree will enter the third period with power play time. Jayhawks, though, cut the deficit in half, 2-1, courtesy of a goal from George Bullard, assisted by Hudson Huber. 29 shots for the Jayhawks, 15 shots on goal for McKendree. We enter the second intermission break. Stay tuned for the KU Hockey YouTube channel for the start of the third period. Back inside Advent Health Sports Park for the start of the third period between the McKendree Bearcats, and your Kansas Jayhawks. McKendree up a goal right now over the Jayhawks. Jayhawks were able to cut their deficit in half late in the second period, courtesy of a goal from George Bullard. With Daniel talking during the second intermission, what do you need to see from the Jayhawks? You mentioned something.
Yeah, I think the Jayhawks just need to keep doing what they're doing. They're moving the puck really well right now. We saw that at the end on the PK even. I mean, they were moving the puck really well. But the George Bullard goal there came as a result of them finally getting some puck movement over on the McKendree defensive end. They need to keep that going if they want to end up tying this game and hopefully taking the lead.
Both teams ready for the start of the third period. McKendree will enter on the power play. We drop the puck, and we are ready to go. Bearcats with the face-off win. Puck played by Hearn, glove down in his defensive zone. Tries to clear it all the way. He can't. Intercepted by Miller. And here come the Bearcats. This is DeMakis. DeMakis patiently waits. 27 seconds to go on the power play. Here's an opportunity now. At the dot. Blocker to side by Vetter up and into the netting to start the third period.
Yeah, McKendree coming out with some energy here. It's what we've seen from them, not in the first period, but last period, in the end of the first period, I'd say, where they're bringing out the energy. Jayhawks just need to match them.
Face off there. As this puck is now in neutral ice. Backhanded pass by Siddons. Misses his brother Aiden. It was Brett to Aiden right there at Siddons connection. Hasn't been on display so far this evening.
The thought was there, though. That was a really good play set up there by Brett.
As we enter the evening hours here in Overland Park, Kansas. Local time, 6:05. Puck in the Jayhawks D zone. Roberts trying to clear. He does. It's a 2-on-1 for the Jayhawks if they hurry. They can't, though. Either way, John Feeney at the dot. Kicked aside there by Height. Jayhawks try to keep it in. They can't. Nessa instead will feed it back to Johnson. Johnson, headman, up to Aiden Siddons. Siddons around the boards. That is Miller there for the Bearcats. Taking him down there was John Feeney, a little late. Miller wanted the penalty, and I think he deservedly wanted one. That puck was far gone when that happened.
Yeah, it looked like Feeney tripped a little bit and then just kind of slid into him. Didn't look like it was intentional, but still.
That is Marcus with it. Marcus dangles. Marcus, kick save there by Vetter. Marcus Dixon, the freshman out of Calgary, Alberta.
Jayhawks have their first line on offense and defense out here. They need to get something going. This is where they need to score.
Jayhawks will try to get something going right here, Daniel. They can't, though, as they turn over the puck, and they have to re-enter the neutral zone. Alongside Daniel Schmidt, I'm Ryan Cartman, bringing you third period action from this two-game series, the back end of a two-game series between the Jayhawks and the Bearcats. Jayhawks took the first one last night here in Overland Park, 6-2, and right now they're trying to look for a series sweep, their first one since the beginning of September.
Yeah, just too many turnovers here for Kansas. That's been the story of this whole game, Ryan. And it's really hurting them here at the start of the third period. Anytime it looks like they have something going, they turn it over.
Oh, here Trey go right now. This is Rowan Vaughn. Vaughn off the post, rebound opportunity. It's Danny Callaghan putting it home for the Jayhawks. We're all knotted up in Overland Park.
There we go, Ryan. We were just talking about it. They kept turning it over. They didn't turn it over there. Rowan Vaughn and Danny Callaghan. Vaughn hits it off the post. Looked like it barely missed. Callaghan right there, able to knock it by height. Great goal for the Jayhawks as we're all knotted up.
Danny Callaghan getting a goal for the Jayhawks, and it will be indeed his first goal, first point recorded as a Kansas Jayhawk in his collegiate career. Danny Callaghan, hats off to you. Your first goal is a big one for the Jayhawks. They're right back in it now.
Look at the energy here, Ryan. The bench is fired up. Skaters are fired up on the ice. This is good for Kansas.
The Jayhawks right back in the offensive zone, though right as I say that, they turn it over. Announcers jinx much? That is Eckliff with it. Eckliff trying to find a teammate. He can't. Jayhawks now with possession as it is Callaghan, the goal scorer, that loses it. Eckliff off the pad of Kai Vetter. Jayhawks now try to make some noise. This is Hudson Huber with it. Huber trying to skate in, goes wide of the net. Huber still with control of the puck, backhands it to Vaughn. Vaughn centering Huber. Huber knocked off the stick there by Eckliff. Jayhawks, though, still with possession of it in the offensive zone.
Looked like on that pass there, Ryan, he was targeting George Bullard. Bullard just missed the puck, though.
Behind the net, Eckliff. And along the boards, icing waved off here. Roberts. Enters the zone is the Jayhawks. They do that. Bullard. Down behind the boards now. This puck is sitting on a Bearcat stick. That is Niewiglowski with it. Jayhawks laid off sides. They're going to have to touch up. They do. As they try to enter the offensive zone. But the Bearcats instead send it the other way of the ice. Pinned up against the boards there are the Jayhawks and the Bearcats. Jayhawks will come away with it. And here comes KU. Braxton Landis with it along the third line. Puck goes back down to the D zone, though. So Jayhawks going to have to restart and try this all over again. It's a brand new hockey game now, all knotted up at 2 in Overland Park. That was George Bullard with it, trying to get a shot off. He couldn't. Stick got tangled up with him, and he is not happy with the referee right now, trying to say, I think, that he got hooked, but nothing going to come of it.
Yeah, the Danny Callaghan goal assisted by Rowan Vaughn there. Callaghan got the second chance opportunity off that, and they also gave one to Hudson Huber.
So that's another assist from Hudson Huber. Make that his second, both on 2 goals. One by George Bullard, the first one for the Jayhawks, and now for Callaghan. Jayhawks with back-to-back unanswered goals. Bearcats going to try to find an answer here. Bearcats centering pass. Puck in front of the net. Can't convert. The Jayhawks can't. Hyatt was sprawled out on the ice. He lost his stick for a second, able to regain control of it as the Bearcats send this around the boards. Back in neutral ice. Dominic Haidt, stressful moment for him there as both teams right now playing for the lead. Puck dumped in behind another Vetter. He goes out to play it. He's going to wait a second along the boards, trying to find a teammate. He does. It's Bowerly. Bowerly to Hannick. Hannick, he dangles around. Can't, though, get past the tall tower. That is Blake Miller. Along the side of the net. Net comes loose. Ref will immediately blow it dead. And we're going to have a high sticking contest here. Ref going to take Jack Hannick off the ice. It'll be a minor for high sticking. And it is McKendree back on the power play, though they have not been able to convert so far this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, kind of surprised by the high stick there. Must have been pretty blatant. We've seen a couple of those tonight where it's like, okay, you know, that could be a high sticking, but they haven't called them. They call that one right there on Jack Hannick.
Bunch of sticks, bunch of players converging together. The refs find Jack Hannick, and it'll be yet another power play opportunity for McKendree. Net, though, still not on its bearings. Our linesman didn't catch that. He's finally going to skate down the length of the ice to fix that net. Of course, Dominic Haidt, the goalie, he doesn't want to do all that by himself when he's trying to focus on what's going on in the game.
The net's been secured, Ryan.
Net has indeed been secured, Jack. And we are ready. Daniel, excuse me. It's the second Jack of the night I've dropped.
We're going to start counting them.
Yeah, the Jack counter now goes to 2. Far corner now. Power play opportunity for the Bearcats. Behind the net. High slot. Shot on. Glove hand save there by Kai Vetter. Snatching an opportunity away from Blake Miller.
Great glove hand save there by Kai Vetter. Just sticks it. Takes it to another face-off here on the power play. Or in the penalty kill for Kansas. 1:46 left on this McKendree power play.
Far corner now, this puck is. Brett Siddons away with it. The first line of the penalty kill out for the Jayhawks. Siddons, look at him go 1 versus 3. The captain for the Jayhawks doing it all by himself. He gets taken down by a Bearcat, and it's the Bearcats' turn to go the other way.
Lead by example, Ryan. That's what you want from your captain right there.
McKendree dumps it in. That is Burden to play it. He wraps around the boards trying to find a teammate, but that puck gets batted out of offensive zone, courtesy of Brett Siddons. Shot from up high now. Glove save there by Kai Vetter. 1:07 to go on the minor The minor high sticking to Jack Hannick.
Yeah, Kai Vetter tonight. We haven't talked about him all that much because we've been focused on other things. He's 31 for 33 in net. Last night he was 39 for 41, so on track to match his night last night.
Face off to the right of Vetter, won by the Bearcats. That's Miller. Miller shot on. Saved by Vetter. Rebound opportunity. Jayhawks able to clear it out. Puck corralled by Height as he sends it. Tries to find Eckliff, but Eckliff falls down. And it's back behind the red line of the net of Height. Puck goes in on Height. Nice job there by the Jayhawks able to get in front of his net, force him to cover up. 38 seconds to go on the power play for the Hawks.
The PK for Kansas has been really, really good tonight, Ryan. I mean, this is just another example of it. They've not given McKendree many good opportunities, and the two good opportunities they've had, Kai Vetter's had glove saves on him. So just good on both ends for the Jayhawks right now.
Good on both ends right now for the Jayhawks indeed. Daniel. Face off, or excuse me, not face off. Puck right now with neutralized. Carrying to get on the left wing side are the Bearcats. Pass cross ice off the boards. Jayhawks get it, and they send it down the length. 24 seconds on the power play for McKendree.
Ryan, we were talking about how important momentum is. I'd say Kansas, even on the penalty kill here, has that momentum.
Far boards. Rowan Vaughn gets it back in neutral ice. 10 seconds on the power play. Miller dumps it in behind the net of Vetter. Vetter does not go out to play it. Trying to keep it gloved in there. That was DeMakis. He can't. And Jack Hannick's out of the penalty box. We're back to even strength. Just over 12 and a half to go in this third frame to play. Headman pass there off the stick of Zach Schubert. That's not Zach Schubert. Find out who that is. Or excuse me, that is Danny Callaghan. Looked at the wrong number there. I got two different numbers for 17. As that shot there by Zadek gets gloved by Height.
Ryan, 12:15 to go here. We're all knotted up. It's anybody's hockey game. Kansas is humming, though. But with the way this game's gone, you got to imagine it can change on a dime.
Face off to the right of Height. Going to be taken by the second line for the Jayhawks. Hudson Huber out. He's already got 2 assists of his own tonight. Looking at another point to his box score. Huber whiffs on that one there, trying to go around the boards as the Jayhawks with control of it. Rowan Vaughn, as Dominic Height jumps on top of that puck as he'll get another whistle yet again, as he looks to be coming up maybe a little gingerly. No, it looks to be all right.
I think I mentioned the wrong stat earlier. I want to correct this. Kai Vetter's only is 2 for 20. It's the 36 shots on goal are for Height. So Height's the one having the night. Have a night, Dominic Height. Make sure I get that corrected for you.
Face off to the right of Height, being taken by the third line for the Jayhawks, Matthew Lang. Puck is dropped. Face off won by the Bearcats and Atticus Arth. Farboards now. Excuse me. Spinorama shot there. Rebound opportunity for the Bearcats. They score! McKendree takes advantage of the Spinorama rebound, and they knock it into the back of the net and take a third period lead against KU.
Yeah, let's check the replay here, Ryan, on our end. And it looked like the Jayhawk defense was just slow to get back there. Zach Sadakis right there with Kai Vetter kind of gives up on the play, ends up sneaking by Vetter, who's disoriented. McKendree is going to get the lead here. Still 12 minutes. It's anybody's game, Ryan.
Still a lot of time left to play, Daniel, but still a lot of time left to play, Daniel. But Jayhawks find themselves yet another hole. Big hit there put on by Malcolm Johnson, as the McKendree bench doesn't like that, as this might be more than just a minor coming up to Malcolm Johnson.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Malcolm.
They are going to get him. They got to get Malcolm for that.
I think they're going to get him pretty good here. But he came right in there.
Oh, he came up high, on lifted his shoulder up. I don't think his skates came up ice, which might help his cause a little bit. But, yeah, totally defenseless player there. That was Blake Miller who went down as the two referees and two linesmen converged, deciding what to do with this one.
Yeah, trainer coming to check on him as well. I mean, wouldn't be surprised if they give Malcolm a pretty sizable penalty here. So one of our referees going to go talk to the scoreboard operator, see how many minutes they put up there, but I assume it's going to be pretty long. Going to guess that they're going to get Johnson here for a 10-minute game misconduct. Player still down on the ice. KU players trying to talk to the referees here, see if they can get anything. Injured players coming off the ice here. Number 38, Niewiglowski, freshman out of Belleville, Illinois. Had a goal last night for them as he heads back to the locker room. Looks like they're going to get 5 minutes here on Johnson for that hit, Ryan.
Yeah, it's going to be a 5-minute major to Malcolm Johnson, as this is going to hurt the Jayhawks right now. Of course, their penalty kill has been great this evening. They haven't given up a power play goal. They gave up a shorthanded goal. They haven't given up a power play goal. But yeah, the Jayhawks are going to miss the defensive prowess of Malcolm Johnson. This is DeMakis. DeMakis shot off the skate of Hearn. In front of the net now, this is Brett Siddons. He carries it up the left wing side. Be interesting to see how aggressive the Jayhawks get here. They're still going to have 6 minutes and some change once they get off this penalty kill. DeMakis now behind the net. In the far corner now. Jayhawks try to clear it out. They can't. Able to keep it in are the Bearcats. Far corner. Calling for the puck is Blake Miller as he is back on the ice. Miller at the point. Miller slap shot wide right of the net, as not able to keep that one in there is Niewiglowski. Near boards. That puck was left for Blake Miller. Miller shoots it up. Roberts able to clear it and dump it. Brett Siddons racing for that puck. He can't get to it. Siddons now with an opportunity in front of the net. Puck couldn't find his stick, though, as Jayhawks go back to retreat and play some defense.
Niewiglowski back on the ice very quickly there, Ryan. He was the player who got taken down by that hit by Malcolm Johnson.
Puck sent down the length yet again. Jayhawks on the kill. 3:40 to go on this kill. Behind the net now, that is Avalos. Avalos spun around a potential poke check from Rowan Vaughn, as here come the Bearcats. That is Eckliff. Eckliff behind the net. Now at the dot along the half wall. Eckliff pushed down there, as now we got a scrum up against the near boards. This is all the kids right there going up to see that one. McKendree player putting his hands up, asking some sort of question, but a ref's blow it dead. I think that puck might have got hidden under a player, as wise enough they blow that dead, so no injuries happen.
Yeah, hidden under a player, just obscured in some way. They're going to blow it dead. Just go to a face-off instead. 3:08 left on that 5-minute major against Malcolm Johnson on that high hit. KU, the penalty kill, showing up like they have, but when it's this long, you got to imagine it's got to break eventually.
At the point, shot. Wide of the net. Far corner now, Jayhawks. Puck along the boards being battled for. That is a clearing there. Nice job by the Jayhawks to get that one out. Height in front of his net. Leaves it for his defenseman, Avalos. Headman pass now as the Bearcats looking to make some noise. Shot on there. Goes wide of the net. Vetter off the backboards and around. Near side now, right in front of the bench of the Bearcats. This puck is played. This is Luke Nessa. Nessa dumps it in and backhanded. 2:25 to go on the 5-minute major to Luke Nessa. Or to Malcolm Johnson, excuse me. Avalos. Avalos patiently waits as he enters the zone. Avalos dumps it. Shot on. Glove save there by Kai Vetter.
Kai Vetter holding his own tonight, has given up 3 goals, but hasn't really gotten that much help from his own side. 2:09 left on this 5-minute major against Malcolm Johnson, but KU, they just need to have something go their way here, Ryan. They need something to swing the momentum. We've been talking about the momentum all game. We were saying it was on the Kansas side. It's solely on McKendree's side now.
Face-off won by the Jayhawks. They try to enter the neutral zone. They do, as this puck now behind the net of Height. Pass now to Miller along the right boards. Miller slings it up to ice, and this is going to be an icing going against the Bearcats. The last thing you want to have on the power play. Blake Miller just couldn't connect with his headman target.
Yeah, the Jayhawks looking a little gassed out there with the penalty killers. Brett Siddons and Aiden Siddons and all of their top lines still out there on the penalty kill.
Face off to the left of Height. Won by the Bearcats. Far corner now as our referee's going to get tangled up in some action here, maybe. He's definitely trying to avoid the likes of Zach Robert. Probably has a foot advantage on him. DeMakis now to play it. He's in between the dots as here come the Bearcats moving up ice. That is Wathen with it, or excuse me, Ward. Ward now, far corner, pressured off the puck there. DeMakis picks it up. DeMakis for Miller. Miller slap shot, saved by Vetter. That puck squeaked out. That, I don't know if it went over the goal line, but an early whistle there by our referee is a break for the Jayhawks.
I think it was definitely after the whistle there. McKendree's going to try and plead their case for that being a good goal, but I heard the whistle before I saw anything.
And McKendree can ask all they want, but the ref blew the whistle early, and once that happens, it doesn't matter what happens. That play is dead.
A little bit of a break there for the Jayhawks, Ryan. That would have put McKendree up 2 instead.
Yeah, I don't know
1:13 left on the penalty kill.
I don't know if that puck would have traveled across the goal line completely. Of course, that puck needs to go completely across the goal line. From our angle, I don't think it went, but Jayhawks luckily don't attempt fate with that one. 7.5 to go in this final period of play. Less than a minute now on the major assist to Malcolm Johnson. From the dot, a shot off the leg of a Jayhawk and into the near boards. Jayhawks clear it down the length as it's behind the net of Height. Avalos to scoop it up for McKendree. Pressured off the puck there for a second by Vaughn, but he's able to regain control of it as the Bearcats move up ice. Bearcats lose control, and here's a good opportunity for the Jayhawks. It's Huber. Huber shot above the crossbar of Height. Zach Zdekis able to get control of it as the Bearcat goes falling to the ground. And Zdekis now goes falling to the ground. No whistles blown. We can play on. 14 seconds to go now on the penalty to Malcolm Johnson. What a penalty kill it has been for the Jayhawks.
Jayhawks, they've bent a little bit, but they haven't broke yet, Ryan. I mean, this penalty kill's been phenomenal this weekend, been phenomenal today.
Johnson's out of the box, and Jayhawks love it. They're banging their sticks along the bench, and we're even strength now for 6.5 minutes, barring any more penalties. Puck behind the net, won there by Luke Nessa. This is Avalos with a shot, Miller with a shot, goes wide left. Callaghan with it. Callaghan, head manning, can't find anybody as his puck gets dumped into the new Jayhawks defensive zone yet again. Offsides here called against the Bearcats as a face-off will come out into the neutral zone.
Jayhawks have 6 minutes to get something going here to try and tie this game up, Ryan. Try and send it to overtime. 3-2 McKendree leads. Jayhawks had more of a cushion on the shots on goal before the 5-minute major against Johnson, but now Kansas has 36 shots on goal, McKendree 25. It was about 36 to 18 before that power play.
And a timeout's been called here. I think it was called by the Bearcats, if I'm not mistaken. Don't want to presume, but they went to the bench first and they got the drawing board out. At least they did for a moment's notice. So I'm going to assume this is a Bearcats timeout here with just over 6 minutes to go, trying to see how they can put the finishing touches on what could potentially be their second win of this campaign, and a very big win at that.
Big timeout for Kansas here, too. That gives them a little bit of time to go to the bench, talk things over, and also get some rest in after that 5-minute major. It's a tiring penalty kill there for the Jayhawks.
Face off in the neutral zone. Waiting to drop the puck. Blake Barrowly wins the face-off for the Jayhawks. It's the fourth line for KU. Puck cleared down to length. Barrowly couldn't get it stuck on it, and it is an icing against KU. But the last thing you want in this situation.
Yeah, taking it back into Kai Vetter's end. Jayhawks need to win the face-off here, get it out. They need to get one of those offensive possessions going where they can move the puck, they can move it around, they can get McKendree on their toes, and then hopefully take advantage. Knot this one up at 3 apiece.
Face-off to the right of Vetter. Just over 6 minutes to go in this final period of play, barring any overtime. As the false start against the Jayhawks, so now to enter to take the face-off is Hannick, and he loses that one without really much of a fight. From the point, shot up and into the netting. All 5 showing on the game clock as Jayhawks. Panic button's not pushing right now, but within the next few minutes, if they don't get a goal on the board or if they give up a goal, it most definitely will be.
They need to just get the offense going here, Ryan. They need something.
Face off, tangled on the dot. Shot on, kicked aside by Vetter. Far boards. That is Hannick. Hannick trying to get it out. He can't. Instead, he'll leave it for Zach Roberts to take care of the work. Roberts, head manning. Nobody got a touch on that puck, but either way didn't go far enough as the Bearcats try to send it down. Roberts intercepts, and he wraps around the boards. Below the red line now. Bearcats try to make something happen on offense. This puck gets sent down the length, and it'll be an icing against McKendree. Exactly what the Jayhawks needed right now, an offensive zone faceoff.
Yep, Jayhawks. They need to win this faceoff, and they need to get something going, Ryan. I mean, I keep saying it, but the Jayhawks, they're running out of opportunities here. You don't want to get down to a point where it's, you got to pull Vetter and you got to get working and trying to get a goal. You'd love to get it right now. Get a little sigh of relief on that bench.
Face off to the left of Height. Won by KU. And around the boards. Brett Siddons picks it up with one hand on the stick. Luke Nesta tries to do the same with one hand on the stick to keep it in. He can't. He'll retreat in front of the net of Kai Vetter. Off a Jayhawk stick, icing waved off there. Near corner. Batted out by the Bearcats. At least they tried to, but here's Brett Siddons from the high slot. Siddons now at the dot. Siddons along the half ball. Point. Johnson shot on. Rebound opportunity in front of the net of Height. But Jayhawks, none of them were there. Miller along the board, sent down. Jayhawks gonna have to retreat, touch up, and try to get something going with just over 4.5 to go in this period. Jayhawks not doing a great job right now corralling the pucks on their stick, these pucks on their sticks. Luke Nessa though at the high point. Nessa shot, deflected in front of the net of Height. That almost turned to be a disaster for Height if that thing was on target.
Just take your time, let it develop here if you're Kansas.
Siddons near corner. Left for Nessus. He dumps it. Along the half ball now is Feeney. Feeney along the boards. Not much on that one. Eventually, though, was able to get out to Johnson. Johnson trying to find Brett Siddons. Siddons, though, can't play it down with a stick. This is Aiden Siddons now. Aiden trying to find Feeney behind the net. He can't. Turns it over instead to Avalos, and he'll send it down the length of the ice as the race will be won by the Jayhawks to the dots. Nice job there by Luke Nessa to force an offensive zone faceoff.
Yeah, good job by Kansas there. They let that play develop. They had a couple of good looks, but McKendree's done a really good job with their defense today. It's carried through all 3 periods here. It's the reason they have the lead. Kansas needs to clean some things up here, hopefully get one in the back of the net so they don't have to stress here. 3:47 left.
Huber to take the face off for the Jayhawks. He wins it right off the draw. Shot by Vaughn. Doesn't get through to traffic. Hearn now with it. Hearn enters. Hearn left it for Huber. Huber, though, can't control it. Huber is able to poke it, though, back to Blake Hearn along the near corner. Hearn sends it around to Vaughn. Vaughn and Callaghan for Jayhawks trying to pass it back and forth, trying to get it away from the Bearcats, though they can't. DeMakos sends it down the ice. And no icing here. Puck didn't go just as far as the linesman would have wanted it to. Just over 3 minutes to go now in this final period of play. Near corner. DeMakos circles back around and waits. Puck stays in for the meantime. Trying to get a shot off there was Jurgensen's, but he couldn't. Behind the net now, the puck goes in front of the net there in the low slot. Luckily a Jayhawk there. That was Callaghan able to keep that out of harm's way.
More sloppy turnovers, Ryan. That's the reason this puck's still over on the KU defensive zone.
Just under 160 seconds to go in this one. Shot there. Kai Vetter deflects it to the side with his leg pad. Behind the net now. That is Callaghan picking it up in the far corner. Callaghan sends it down to neutral ice. Jurgensen to pick it up as he'll send it down the opposite way. No icing here. He was in front of the center red line. There was Yochtuber. Yochtuber cross ice. Now dumped down by a Bearcat. Yochtuber there off the side of the net. Nice opportunity for the young man out of Lebanon, Illinois, right where McKendree's located. High slot. Far boards now. This puck travels at the dot now. Both teams trying to get possession of this puck. Seems like nobody wants it, though, as we cross the 122nd mark to play. As you got to imagine soon, Kai Vetter's going to come out of his net, but there's just no good opportunity for it right now. Delayed offsides against the Bearcats as they're going to have to reset. And 1 minute, 40 seconds to go in this one. Jayhawks trying to just tie this game up and send it to overtime at least.
This has been a very not good last couple of minutes for Kansas here, Ryan.
Big hit there put on by the Bearcats. That was Luke Nessa almost being sent into the Bearcat bench. Minute 18 to go now. Near side. Landis tried to head man it up to Lang. Can't. And icing waved off here by the referees. Clearing attempt there by Miller, though, will go up and into the netting. So a big offensive zone faceoff for the Jayhawks.
Andy McConnell's going to use a timeout here. 1:08 left. Jayhawks need a goal here, Ryan. Send it to overtime.
Yep, Jayhawks use their timeout. So both teams have used their timeout, and that will be it for timeouts for the rest of this game. From here on out, only thing stopping this clock is a natural stoppage.
Jayhawks do have the advantage here. They have the face-off over in the McKendree defensive zone. Win the face-off. Keep the pressure on you. Have to assume they'll have an extra skater here after pulling Vetter.
Yep, Vetter is sitting on the bench right now, so it'll be an empty net for the Jayhawks with 68 seconds to go. Again, talking to Andy McConnell before the game, one thing he liked from his team was their ability to cycle the puck around the boards. And you got to imagine that's what he's telling his team right now, that, hey, you guys have cycled well, especially last night. Find that again. Let's cycle it. Make this defense work. Get some tired legs out there. See what happens. So it's going to be the first line out, actually a mix of lines. It's going to be Aiden Siddons, Brett Siddons. There's going to be Danny Callaghan in there as well. John Feeney in there. We got a whole mixture of lines. It is going to be John Feeney, though, to take the face-off for the Jayhawks. 68 seconds to go. Who will come out on top? We'll find out right now. Puck behind the red line. Bearcats trying to clear. They can't. Far corner, Feeney with it. Centering pass for the Jayhawks, deflected by the Bearcats. Shot on goal, doesn't get through. This puck's battled in front of the net of height. And whistle stoppage on the play, as it looks like a Bearcat might be down. Got a Jayhawk on top of him as well. 53.5 seconds to go in this third period.
Yeah, that whistle I heard some groans from the KU bench there. I don't think they like that whistle. The puck was still loose. As Height's going to get a moment here. Everybody in front of his net. Pressure's on him right now.
Yeah, that puck was still loose, Daniel. But again, I mean, you know, went KU's way the first time. Now goes McKendree's way. It's just a hockey god's way of making things fair in the world, I guess. Lang to take the face-off this time as the ref stops the play, telling Aiden Siddons to back up a little bit. Lang, nice job to win the face-off there. Brett Siddons from the point. Siddons down to his brother Aiden Siddons now. Aiden Siddons pressured along the near boards by Rudolph Jurgensons. Bearcats just going to try to keep this tucked up against the boards as long as they can. Here to Jayhawks out. Shot from the point. Rebound opportunity. Height's helmet is off now, and he lays on top of the puck, and somehow that puck stays out of the young netminder's net. What a job there by Dominic Height with his helmet off. Now you just got to hope that the freshman is okay.
What a save there. I mean, his defense, his defenders are right there. Jayhawks have 5 forwards out on the ice right now, no defensemen. Trying to get anything working. Looked like they had an opportunity right there. Height's helmet coming off. Might have helped them out there.
Bearcats going for some changes here. Jayhawks bench right now standing up, hoping, anticipating, praying that they can get a goal in these next 35 seconds, or else they will be going home with yet another season or another series split, their third in their last 3. Face-off to right of Height. Lang to take it for the Jayhawks. Lang trying to battle, he does. Siddons now from the point. Brett Siddons waits. He'll go around the boards looking for Aiden Siddons. Aiden Siddons now. Up top. Shot there, deflected in front of the net. Goes in the near corner. 20 seconds to go in this game. Big hit there put on by Aiden Siddons. Near corner now. 15 seconds to go. Jayhawks got to have it right here. This is Aiden Siddons with it. Aiden, puck in front of the crease. Put it in the net. Nobody can. Another shot on goal. Height was down for a second. Another shot. They scored! Rowan Vaughn, the leading goal scorer for this Jayhawks team, ties this game with 5 seconds remaining. Oh my, Rowan Vaughn.
You could smell it. Kansas was pressuring them. McKendree was disorganized in front of the net. Vaughn ends up with it back, wrists it into the net, falls over, races over to the bench to celebrate. Jayhawks tie it with 5 seconds to go. What a game, Ryan.
Rowan Vaughn, the man who thought would have to come through with the goal for this team, does. His 12th of the season in only 8 games, as it is a brand new hockey game now, and both these teams could sniff overtime just with 5 seconds remaining in this final period of play.
Height looked like he almost got a blocker on that, but
puck is dropped, and that'll do it for regulation. The Jayhawks barely escape and regulation loss, and both teams will get points out of this game, at least one, depending on who wins. As oh my Vaughn.
King Vaughn, man, I mean, there you go. Get a little overtime, a little free hockey out here. I'm sure nobody's going to argue with that. What a game.
What a game indeed. As our referees right now, we're talking to Chase Pruitt and Andy McConnell, the assistant and head coach for the Jayhawks respectively. Now they're going to come over and talk to Christian Blandina and Noah Scrum, the coaches for McKendree. As both teams will switch the sides they were attacking on. Height makes his way early out to his own net, trying to clear his mind. And what, I mean, I know he gave him that last goal, but that was just a bunch of guys in front of his net. Nothing he can do there. It was just a great job by the Jayhawks to cause chaos in front of the net of Dominic Height.
Dominic Height has seen 41 shots on goal tonight, Ryan.
Nothing more he can ask for out of the young man from Woodville, Wisconsin. As we will get some 3-on-3 overtime action here. And what more could you ask for? A little bit of extra hockey, Daniel, on a Saturday evening here in Overland Park.
Jayhawks keeping Vaughn on here for overtime, Ryan.
So to start overtime for the Jayhawks, it is going to be Hudson Huber, Blake Hearn, and going to get that last number in a second. Actually, I couldn't get that last number, so we will find out who that third one is. Either way, we're ready to drop the puck. Are you ready from home? Here we go. Overtime, 5 minutes, starts right now. It is Hearn, Huber, and Rowan Vaughn to start. It's the all-important face-off for puck control won by the Bearcats. Here they come streaking down to ice. That is Eckliff. Eckliff shot on. 5-hole save there by him. And here comes Rowan Vaughn, the man who just scored the goal with 5 seconds to go to send this game to overtime. Bearcats regaining possession of it. 30 seconds gone in overtime. Near side, that is Eckliff trying to get possession of that puck. It is Eckliff and Roscoff out there right now. Eckliff waiting patiently. Eckliff shot off the stick of Hearn and up into the netting, out of play.
Oh my goodness, Ryan. Free hockey. It's a good game out here, Ryan. It's been pretty good. Jayhawks tied up there with 5 seconds left. After the game, didn't look like it was going their way for a while. They end up showing up when it matters most, and that's the reason we're playing here in overtime.
It's a nail biter out here, partner. Fans from both teams right now, McKendree fans making an appearance out here too. Both fans waiting patiently, eyeing patiently, hoping that their team can score that game-winning goal in overtime. This is Brett Siddons, the captain, carrying the puck. Siddons works his way up. He's going to decide to wait a little bit. Again, you want to keep possession in this overtime period. You don't want to risk that other team getting the all-important possession along the boards. Brett Siddons plays it with the skate to his stick. Along the near side, it is pressure now from McKendree. Nice job by them, and here they come. Bearcats with it. That is Blake Miller. Near corner now, left for what looks to be Tuklowski. Miller now. Miller cross ice. Miller calling for it. He doesn't get it. Rebound opportunity there for the Bearcats. Nobody home as the Jayhawks now with possession. Malcolm Johnson crosses the center red line to the defenseman. Line change here. Blake Bowerly on now for the Jayhawks. Brett Siddons dangles around one. Can't dangle around another as he'll take this puck to the corner. Siddons now at the point. Siddons still with control of the puck. Trying to find something now. Dumps it to Johnson. Johnson, toe drag around one. Save there by Height. Behind the net now, this puck is. Near boards now. Headman pass there. Attempted by the Bearcats, but they can't connect. Icing waved off, though. Nice job by the Bearcats to nullify that. Eckliff now with it. Eckliff shot on off the post. Ryan Eckliff off the post. Either that was off the post or it was Kai Vetter's skate that nicked the post. I think that was off the post, though, and Ryan Eckliff that close from winning this game for the Bearcats.
Yeah, I don't know if it was off the post there. I think Vetter knocked the net off its bearings there.
I don't know, Daniel. It's hard to tell there, but either way, we still find a way to keep playing. 2:33 to go in this overtime period. Avalos at the point. Down to Eckliff. Eckliff looking for a streaking teammate. Can't find him. Kai Vetter decides to cover up after a save. 2:20 now left.
2:20. Kansas needs to get the puck out. Need to get it back on the other side. They need to start threatening McKendree here. Don't let them get comfortable over in their offensive zone.
Right side faceoff. Bowerly kicks it out into neutral ice off the faceoff. Nice job by the young man. As McKendree will take all the time they need to reset. No hurry for them right now as they look to run the weave. Into the offensive zone. That is Roscoff. Roscoff with a centering pass attempted for Eckliff. Dangerous puck in front of the net of Kai Vetter, but he pokes it from Eckliff. Eckliff now at the dot. Shot on, up and in the net off the leg pad of Vetter. Under 2 minutes to go in overtime.
Yeah, 1:47 left here, Ryan. really liking the way the Jayhawks are playing on defense, but in overtime you need to get the puck over onto your own zone. You need to go and score. As KU puts back out that first line that was out to start OT, led by Rowan Vaughn.
Both teams' benches standing up, fans waiting in dire anticipation, hoping that their team gets to walk away happy. From the point, behind the net now this puck goes. Callaghan with it, loses control of it. He's got to get that control back. He does for a second. Nice job by the young man laying down on the ice with one hand on the stick. Here come the Jayhawks streaking down the ice. That is Rowan Vaughn. Rowan Vaughn off the side of the net. Behind the net now. There he is with the puck. 2 Bearcats against Rowan Vaughn. Can he clear it out? He does. Looks to be Harry Ives. That is not Ives. That is Hearn, excuse me. That is not Hearn. That's actually Huber. Sorry. Huber now. High slot. Leaves it for Vaughn. Vaughn shot. Saved by Height. Height. It is playoff season baseball indeed. Nice glove save there. Looking like he was catching a line drive.
Yeah, I want to call out some good defense there by Blake Miller. Miller got down there against Rowan Vaughn, knocked it off his stick. Vaughn was going to have a good opportunity there against Height, but some good D by Miller. Keeps it away from him, keeps McKendree breathing.
Under a minute to go now, 55 seconds and ticking. Puck is dropped to the left of Height. The Jayhawks come away with it. That is Blake Hearn right there. Hearn, shot, rebound opportunity for the Jayhawks. Height covers up. What a job by Dominic Height. All out sprawling, able to make the save there against Hudson Huber.
Yeah, it looked like Vaughn went around to Huber there. Huber tried to get it up and over, but Height's pad was right there, just too close.
The rink gets eerily quiet now. 42 seconds to go. Heartbeats are racing. You could feel the tension in the air. As the Jayhawk goes down, no penalty called there. Chase Pruitt wanted one. He's not going to get it, the assistant coach for the Jayhawks. Here comes Eckliff. Eckliff now in front of the crease of Vetter. That puck goes. Jayhawks now with it. This is Blake Hearn, the defenseman. Hearn, the left-handed shot, trying to leave it for Vaughn. He can't. Puck in neutral ice. 18 seconds left. Huber now. Huber along the far boards. Hudson Huber streaks in, trying for a cross ice. Nice job by the McKendree defender to deny that pass. 5 seconds to go behind the net. Vaughn trying, looked like for a lacrosse-style goal there, as that will end the overtime period. As I think Vaughn there was going for a lacrosse-style goal, if I was not mistaken, trying to put a Michigan in there. He can't, as we will head to a shootout here between McKendree and KU. And Daniel, when you thought that this game, after a poor showing from McKendree last night, you thought that this game, might be just another blowout. But again, the Jayhawks can't find ways to win on a Saturday, and now we are treated to one heck of a game.
Yeah, Roscoff there, the McKendree defender, I think might have just saved the game for them. Let him live a little bit. It looked like there was going to be a good shot there from Rowan Vaughn. And Roscoff was laying out, blocked it with his stick while prone. Great play.
Part of the advantage of being the home team is that you get to choose who shoots first. We'll see who Andy McConnell decides to have shoot first. As it'll be the Bearcats shooting first. Coming out is Jake DeMakis. DeMakis, the freshman out of Mastic, New York, had a goal in last night's game. Had a goal in today's game. Looking to add another in the shootout. As our ref and linesman look on. A right-handed shot DeMakis is. Kai Vetter winning his own net. The whistle blows, and here we go. DeMakis picks up the puck, weaving back and forth along the left side. DeMakis now skates in fast. DeMakis forehand backhand. He scores! Jake DeMakis tucks it in the back of the net as it's an early 1-0 shootout lead for the Bearcats.
Yeah, just nothing you can do there if you're Vetter. I mean, he faked him out pretty good right there.
Brett Siddons now, the captain for the Jayhawks. He'll be Andy McConnell's first choice to shoot. The left-handed shot for KU. The junior captain. Whistle blows Brett circles around, and here he comes. He picks up the puck with 2 hands. Going down the right side right now, slowly. He waits patiently. Wrist shot, kick pad save there by Height. Big save there for Dominic Height, as it's now the Bearcats with all the momentum and the big advantage.
Yeah, Siddons tried to get something to go there, but just not enough there. Height read it very well. That's why they have the lead.
Liebenberden now, the freshman out of Munich, Germany. The right-handed shot trying to get the left-handed shot trying to give the Bearcats a big 2-0 lead. Starts slowly. Burden waits, shoots, he scores! Liebenberden, look how pumped up he is getting as he puts a wicked wrister up above the blocker of Kai Vetter, and all of a sudden the Jayhawks are up with their backs against the wall.
They have to score here. They have to score here, Ryan.
Jayhawks have to score here indeed to keep this shootout period going. This time it's Hudson Hubert, a freshman from Plymouth, Minnesota for the Jayhawks. Got to put it in the back of the net. Hubert picks it up slowly, starts to pick up some speed to the right side now. Hubert, wrister, saved by Dominic Height, and that'll do it. McKendree steals one in Kansas as they get their second win of the year, and look at how happy that McKendree team is, circling around their goaltender, Dominic Height, and what a performance it was for Dominic Height, the freshman from Wisconsin, tonight for the Bearcats.
Yeah, what a night for Dominic Height. 47 saves. Just a great night for him. Got to be excited. He gives his head coach, Christian Blandina, a hug. Great win. So now they shake hands at the end of the weekend.
Yeah,
What a game.
Gave his head coach, Christian Blandina, a big hug out there, and you know this win has to feel very good for the Bearcats.
Yeah, just a good weekend. The Jayhawks have struggled to close out on Saturdays. We see it again right here, Ryan. Something that's going to need to change as they get into this long range of home games.
Yeah, this long string of home games will continue next weekend with Nebraska, but let's keep a focus on this game for now, Daniel. A lot of missed opportunities for the Jayhawks. That felt like they were skating better than they did yesterday, but also felt like McKendree was skating better than they did yesterday too. What do you think was the difference maker tonight that caused the Jayhawks to come up just short against the Bearcats?
I think the big thing was the Jayhawks just came out flat, and I mean that first period is really going to be something that you have to look back at practice this week and when you watch film. They came out flat and they just didn't seem to get it going at all. And I mean, when they did get it going, it was the last 5 minutes of the second period. You know, Rowan Vaughn saves it for them with 5 seconds to go in the third period. And then OT in the shootout, you know, it's back to normal. It's back to the way it was for them. So they just need to figure it out. You know, just a good week of practice right here heading into Nebraska. You play a team, Nebraska, next weekend that's a lot like this McKendree team. You just need to make sure that you can close out both games against them next week, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, this Nebraska team, definitely a team to be reckoned with, though, as the Jayhawks will return back home. What did you like from McKendree, Daniel? Lot to like from tonight. A lot of fight they showed.
They brought the energy, Ryan. That's the big thing. They brought the energy tonight, and, you know, as soon as they saw that KU was having an off afternoon and off evening, they took advantage of that. And it's when you take advantage and you bring the energy like that, it's you're going to win. And that's just the way that tonight went, and that's the reason that they end up with the victory.
The reason they end up with a victory indeed. It was a great night from Kai Vetter, but just an even better night from goaltender Dominic Height for the Bearcats to put this one away in the shootout. And as we look ahead, Daniel, this KU team next weekend will be facing off. Will be facing off against the Big Red from the University of Nebraska. Nebraska won their first 2 games of the year on the road against Dallas Baptist University. They've been home the rest of the season so far, their past 5 games, and have entered this weekend with a 2-5 record. They played last night against Dordt out in Iowa. Don't have the results from that game, but they entered this weekend 2-5. So potentially an opportunity for KU. But we saw it tonight though against a lesser opponent in McKendree. KU just couldn't come through.
Yeah, I mean you just have to close it out. I mean, it's a very similar opponent next week, and hopefully they learned a lot from today. I mean, when you win as big yesterday and then you come out today flat like this, I mean, you just got to figure it out. I mean, I don't know if it's a hangover after the win or whatever, but I think they have the coaching staff and they have the leadership on the team to be able to right the wrong of today and figure it out, and hopefully they can get both next weekend.
Well, you could hear the woos, the cheers, the whooping from underneath us right now. That McKendree locker room pumped up after a big win as they'll have a nice bus ride back to Lebanon, Illinois. Daniel, any final thoughts before we leave the broadcast?
Yeah, just great game on both sides. I mean, I was impressed with both goaltenders, especially Height. I mean, I thought after last night, you'd think that maybe he came out a little bit flat, but he really figured it out and got it going.
Well, with those final thoughts, it is a KU loss tonight. That'll drop them to 5-2-1 on the year. That loss in overtime. Jayhawks able to salvage a point out of this game. McKendree, meanwhile, 2-8-1 on this young, or I should say now, this middle-aged almost 2025-2026 campaign. Well, the next time the Jayhawks are on the ice, it'll be next weekend right back here in Overland Park to take on the University of Nebraska. They'll be traveling down, taking the road trip from Lincoln. 8 p.m. puck drop Friday night, 4:15 p.m. puck drop next Saturday afternoon. Well, folks, final line for tonight. KU loses in a shootout to McKendree 4-3. Jayhawks had about 13 more shots on goal than the Bearcats. They just couldn't cash in any of those opportunities. Well, for Daniel Schmidt, I am Ryan Cartman. Jayhawks lose a tough one, a heartbreaker, you could say, to the Bearcats from McKendree. We will see you next weekend here on the KU Hockey YouTube channel. Take care and stay safe for now.